Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and Tangent a lot. This week, I'm joined by Gustav the 13th
Yep.
and Gaming Emblem
Hey,
and a dancing ant guy.
what that guy?
Oh no! Look out!
I don't see anything.
So, how's your all's past week, Gustav?
It has been good. Been going through Yakuza 4 a bit more, getting into some of the other characters. What is it? Pandemic restrictions have ended up going a lot stricter over this current week, so the same shit for me, but it's gonna be interesting to see how things develop here. But besides that, it's been pretty quiet, which I can appreciate. No news is good news for me.
From what I hear, not to get too much into it, but I've been hearing like it's getting bad everywhere. Like in my state, it's pretty bad. Like everybody's starting to feel it, even in the middle of nowhere areas. So.
Also, and I don't know how super true it is. It's a little bit on the lighter side, I guess. But like toilet paper shortages have gotten their memes back.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
People found out you can distill the cure with enough toilet paper, so they're back to hoarding it.
Just gotta absorb that virus; it'll be fine. Swipe it over your toilet paper.
Just boil all your toilet paper until it reduces into a serum, and you'll find the cure.
Oh, no.
Don't try this at home, please.
Do not inject yourself with toilet paper, goop, please.
Anything said on the podcast is just a joke, and only a joke. Please do not try this at home.
There it is. Now it's appropriate.
There we go.
Especially our opinions on the game. That's the biggest joke of the podcast.
No, all of our takes are 100% cold.
We're not responsible for any rating loss that you might have in your games.
Take and act upon our opinions verbatim. Fuck it.
Yeah, if you go to a streamer like, but Gustav, Emblem, or Magnum said, I mean, you got like zero credibility on the internet. So I mean, don't listen to us.
Like, people would be like, "Who?
I didn't say that."
Yeah. Who is that? Nobody knows.
You take in the Dom Barrage, you will win 100% of the time.
Seems legit. It was said on the podcast. I believe it.
Oh no, seems that checked out.
Oh no. There's the clip that gets used somewhere.
Oh no.
Out of context, like Emily said it was good. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, like it's just in another game entirely.
This seems close enough. That'll work, right?
What does you say that for the April Fool's podcast? I'm like, yeah, Dom Barrage is the best suit in the game. I'm like,
just an entire 3 hours.
Oh no, yeah, like
I'm on the Dom Barrage.
Emblem's like all for it, and he's like, it's the best suit, and I'm just shitting on it the entire time.
Oh
yeah, I main supports.
Raid main supports just sit on top and look down on everybody.
I just gotta be in the background like, please stop fighting.
Super dynamic, and they have a very important role in the team, and they're very mobile, maneuverable, and like when played right, can carry the entire group or whatever. Anyway, I digress. Sorry.
Okay,
keep going, Gustav.
If the entire group is a sack of potatoes, then yes. But okay. But that was it for me.
Okay. By the way, were you playing something in between the Yakuza games?
No.
Okay. Because I was crazy. I mean, it was pretty late at that point. I think either I'm pretty sure I rated you, and then I was just like, I was walking through, and you were doing like Gundam, and then you swapped to something. I'm guessing that was the Yakuza 4, and I was just like, what is that? But like from halfway across the thing, it looked like something completely different. I was like, what is he?
Oh, you know what it is, and that might just be because of the different characters. So we were Akiyama in the beginning, and then we're Saejima now, who is a whole different character, and he had like this whole like jailbreak scene and all this other shit. So
okay, yeah,
it just looked really different for a hot minute, and then we got back to being in the city.
Okay, and for all we know, it could have been a mini game. I mean, sometimes you're playing Yakuza, and then the next thing you know, you're like
Next
chasing
thing
around people in a parrot
Oh,
costume.
you're
or
in a
something,
massage
probably.
parlor trying not to bust a nut because that's actually a move.
Yeah.
I think you were like suddenly went into like a motorcycle mini game or something. I was like,
Hmm?
oh, that's probably Yakuza. But yeah, for a minute I was like, what's he even playing? But I didn't go look. I was like, I'm going to bed. It's already like 2 a.m. But yeah, Emblem, how was your past week?
Good. To kind of piggyback on the Yakuza thing, I've seen Aoshi playing Yakuza 7 a little bit, so I've been interested in that game. I actually went ahead and bought it. I got it on Steam now, so I might play it this weekend. But speaking of Magnum not being in places, he was doing one part of the game Magnum where it's like a Pokemon reference, and there's three guys in different colored suits. One of them's in a blue suit, the other one's in a red suit, and the third guy's in a green suit. And since you weren't there, I typed in your emote and like quotes and put "pick green."
Yes.
I covered your choice for you, bud. So it's like you were there. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Um, so far so good on my week. My attempts to get a PlayStation 5 so far have all ended in failure. But I'll keep trying. As Gustav says, do it for the content.
Yes.
So we're gonna get in there and try to do it up, for lack of a better term. I got to get my crisp, clean, fresh GBO2, my third remake of a Dark Souls game or something. But on a bigger note, though, like, and I don't mean to like flex or whatever, but I actually think it's pretty exciting, and I'm really happy with the amount of like pickup we've been showing recently. But Team Tripants has just gotten a lot more, has gotten some new members, and there's like a lot of revitalized interest in clan battle. And like
Dude.
just for instance, we're looking to have 3 teams for the clan battle coming up on Saturday,
Mhm.
assuming everybody wakes up. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's good. Like going from like, we might have like 1 team if everybody wakes up on time to, you know, pushing 3 is really, really exciting. So I'm looking forward to this upcoming clan match.
Um,
And if everybody in T3P watching, I count on you.
do you think it's more that people are staying up later or waking up earlier?
I don't know. It might just be because I started keeping track of who's participating, and told them I would ask them to go to Team No Pants if they didn't start participating.
Okay, yeah, there you
It
go.
might
There you
just
go.
be that part.
You know what? If it works, it works. Because that's GS3 to
Hmm.
GKN right now.
Hmm.
I wonder. And Gum Gaming might be getting some new members.
Gotta stick a couple extra wads under the table, huh?
But yeah, sorry, what was I gonna ask? Yeah, I know a couple of people were talking about the 4 a.m. thing being on West Coast. They're just staying up late rather than
Mm.
they're just pulling an all nighter rather
Like
than
if
trying to go to
it's like
bed.
at that threshold, yeah, I
Yeah,
can see that.
because a lot of people will stay up to like 2 and 3 a.m. So like, it's just 1 more hour, no big deal. But
That was me playing For the King, man. You start a run, and then you're like, oh man. Well, you like look at it, the same thing. Like look at times like, well, where characters have a lot of health. Let's go to like in a little bit of trouble, and then next thing you know, you're beating the final boss. It's kind of like, oh, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
whoop.
Yeah, you hate to see it happen. But yeah, good week so far though. I think it'd be even better when I have a PlayStation 5. But I'm gonna try to keep track of things. We'll
But
see what happens.
didn't you beat uh 13 Sentinels the
Oh yeah, I did.
Aegis Rim?
Yeah. I beat it the other day. Very interesting. I was a little, not gonna lie, I was a little bit sad about the ending. Um, I kind of wish there had been more of it. I'll just say this about it, and what kind of was made me sad. You find like you can like I feel like everything is already not as it seems, and that's pretty obvious. But when you find out how everything is not like it seems,
Oh no.
and then like after the credits, it's like post game, and I wish the post game was more flavored for what we found out. And like I get assets and stuff like that, but like when you play a game and then like they do the credits and they have like the characters interacting and stuff.
Yeah.
All of that was done using the same assets that they used to, do the normal gameplay, right? So it's in all the same locales and stuff like that. Um, I would have liked to have had the locales. I would have liked to have had in-game locales for the place that for what they introduced at the end of the game was my kind of like concern. Like they kind of did, and it was very brief, but I would have liked to have had a little bit more. That'll be my big thing on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely wanting to check that out once it drops in price sometime. Definitely on my list now. Yeah, is that pretty much your week?
Yeah, so far so good. We'll see what happens when we try to get the Stallion clan logo on Saturday morning.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's top 10, right?
Yep.
Good luck. I believe.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, as far as my week, pretty much usual stuff. The biggest thing is I've got chapter 2 in Tsushima done for the raid. Finally got that and got it on farm too now. So took a group through. There was 2 of us who had already done it, and then 2 people that were new, and it was pretty easy. The funny thing is I completely understood like the second big thing. There's like this wall thing where you gotta kill dudes. I thought it was you had to like the point is you go down and you kill as many guys as you can rather than take what you're getting. You build stacks and you kind of take them up to the pool, but the pool is to get rid of them rather than actually use them to feed the wall, as it was in the first time you saw one of these walls. So I figured it was like, you're kind of feeding both, and it might be both, but either way, though, it's just like you're trying to kill as many dudes that are at the bottom as possible, as fast as possible. So after learning that, it's better understanding on how that works. But other than that, let's see. Did another thing for Baldur's Gate 3. It's pretty crazy just for being in early access right now, and this is just like the first 4 levels. Like I think level 4 is max level right now, and the game's just amazing as is already. I mean, other than what I said the last time I talked about it, where some of the animations, like the dude's like trying to pick up a dude, and then like the arms are just like flailing on the guy he's picking up. So, but like the way the game plays and everything is 10 out of 10. Like the stuff you can do. I mean, it's pretty much like one of those things where since there's game mechanics there to kind of show you your limitations, then it's in a way sometimes a little bit better than some tabletop experiences. But then, I mean, there's obviously a lot of things missing from tabletop in that. But it's kind of cool where we're playing as a group of 4, kind of going through. It feels very tabletop, where the game's just the GM. And then with the tabletop, by the way, I will go ahead and say this here. We won't be doing a session next week, and we might not have an episode for a while. We might have it on hiatus till January. That just depends on schedules. So hopefully it's just missed next week. If not, though, yeah, there's that. But
it's because Courtney killed the whole party.
Oh no.
There we go. Courtney snuck in. Oh no.
Why do I feel like my old character is some like insane murder man now? Can either confirm or deny this. You just have to watch.
Yeah,
Just some
I can't tell
crazy
you what's
murder
happening.
hobo.
Might have showed up and possibly killed Jerry. Nobody knows if that was 100% accurate yet or not.
Or
but,
Jerry.
What happened to Jerry?
He was
Don't talk
Jerry.
about that.
Courtney showed up and like just tried to blow up his mud rock and stab him on the ground while he's out of his suit. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and as far as the rest of my week though, that's my car. Oh my gosh. Okay, real quick, as quick as possible on this. So, power steering went out. I was trying to turn. I turned. I started going down the road, and I'm like, the thing is, it was jerking back. So like when I would go to turn, it would just like try to turn the other way on me. It would like kick back. So it got a little weird. But finally, I was able to power through it. I could actually turn, and then after that, the I was able to get a little bit down the road, and then all of a sudden, I just hear like, chung, 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 and I was like, the engine just fall out, like I'm like, oh no. So
It is kind of scary.
pretty much, one of the where the belt is, one of the things that are spinning for where the power steering is, just went ding 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 and just started bouncing around pretty much, and then yeeted out somewhere, and who knows where it went.
Oh no.
But that's what I was hearing, is that spinning and going crazy in there. So got it fixed today. Car's back. No big deal. But it was just like, and the way it broke though, it just straight up snapped. So like, it should be like this solid piece of metal where there's a little ring and then a bigger one, and they're just connected. They're just solid together. Somehow it like cracked. It would have had to crack some way and just snapped that way somehow. Like, I don't know. It was the only thing I could think of is it might have got a little rust somehow, because it was a car that came from Katrina. And there was a little bit of water damage, but I mean, like, practically none. But I mean, maybe somehow it got some rust at the time, and he just decided to be there on that. I don't know. That's the only way. But I mean, there was no sign of that on the other tiny piece. It was crazy though how it broke. It doesn't even make sense. But somehow I break cars and lawnmowers. Like that is my unlucky thing for me to drive or do anything with. But yeah. So anyway, let's get into some everybody's called this thing so many different things, and I was like, aqua, no, moist, wait, no,
The dive
diver, yeah, like wet Gundam.
I'm just calling it Aqua Gundam.
But yeah,
Flashy Gundam.
the Aqua Gundam. There we go. So what do we think about the Aqua Gundam?
Pull up its stuff real fast while you guys give us the hot or the cold takes, as Gustav put earlier.
Well, Gustav, how's
The
the
most frigid of takes.
how's playing it so far?
Interesting. Actually, something that I noticed on the wiki for this the other day is that apparently its pack, like on its back, is supposed to have like a torpedo launcher, and that's something that this actually doesn't have, unless you're using the secondary, in which case technically you just have it for your main gun. But for what it actually has, the harpoon gun's pretty neat. It does do a burst of 4, so you get 2 volleys unless you cancel out, right? So that's pretty nice. They do have a little bit of a blast or splash damage on them, so you can kind of mash it into a group and get some consecutive staggers that way. Good for finishing off suits. And I'd say the melee is okay. You're definitely gonna want to lead in with your arm anchor first, just to get that heavy stagger, because trying to time it like you would for a saber is gonna get you in trouble because of how stumpy the beam pick is. And the beam rifle itself, it's not bad. Decent output, good range. The
Seems to charge quickly.
focus is pretty nice. Someone was trying to say that it was akin to the Alex on one of the other GP things, and I'm assuming they just mean maybe the focus, because it's definitely not the firing rate.
What's the time on it? Okay, here, let me bring that up. I just noticed you got that up.
Half a second, Magnum. Or sorry, 1.5 seconds.
1.5, yeah.
Oh, for the firing rate. Ooh, that's actually nice. Why
And then
isn't
the
it
heat
popping
rate
up?
itself is 45.
Give me 1 second. Keep going, but give me a second to get your.
Yeah, so I probably wouldn't put it on Alex levels either. I agree with you there.
Especially since it still has more power. 1300 for the level 1. 1365 for the level 2. Having the extra stun on the missile launcher for the sub weapon is nice. Although once that's down, you really have to rely on doing a lot of consecutive stunning if you want to try to get in, especially if you're not super comfortable with the hand anchor. But if not, and if you're an avid goof player, then you should feel at home with this. Like,
Yeah. I thought it
It's
actually
interesting
had.
that it doesn't flinch.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't, but it's
No.
not like a big deal. It's not like you'd be able to do rapid fire, but usually beam weapons flinch, like
Yeah.
the gun cannons, sniper rifle flinches, for
Mhm.
instance. So
or like the
just like a
zero
little minor
shiki,
thing.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is, well, I guess we'll see it because you're using the missile launcher thing. I've been wanting to see that on just the yes.
I like the beam rifle too. It looks like a fish.
Aqua
Yeah,
Gundam.
it's really weird. There's a picture on the wiki of how it looks like on the inside, and it's just like it really looks like a Zionic. Like they just stole like a Gelgoog's beam rifle and were like, that'll work.
Ship it.
They just
borrow.
made it even pointier and then put a weird plastic cover over it. Like, all right. That's how you know it's waterproof. Also, what is it with my teams having these weird compositions? Why is there a gun cannon too? On jungle. Stop it.
Nice, nice. Just zap them with your
And
glue
there's
gun.
no raid.
Zap them with your glue gun.
Ah! I mean, the way that is pointed on the end, it does look like a glue gun. For a second, because it looks so stumpy from the picture, I was like, that's not like a beam spray gun, is it? Oh no. But no, then I saw it had a focus. I was like, all right, it's just a regular rifle. We're good.
Ooh, thank goodness.
Ooh. So I was about to be a little triggered. Like, it's funny to fuck around with that stuff. I don't want that on a quote unquote Gundam. And we should get this out of the way, right? It's even in the description. Technically, this is about as Gundam as a ground Gundam is because it's just a modified Aqua Gem. So it's not really a Gundam. They just put like one of the. It actually has the same kind of like head visor as the like the heavy or the Gunner Gundam. It kind of looks more akin to that with the way that
He's
they
got
did
that
it.
red going on, red orange thing too.
I feel like I've had so many people tell me that factoid. It feels like when people tell you that Mario 2 isn't actually Mario 2 and LPs all the time. It actually is based on Doki Doki Panic from Japan. I was like, I know. For the 1000th fucking time, I know.
Yeah. That's kind of part of why I always kind of give the more extreme factoids a hard time. It's just because like, come on, man. You mention that like every other time you're in chat, like on a new day. Like it's all good.
Well, actually.
God, my soul.
But yeah, the missiles, that actually looks really cool. I kind of want that missile
like
launcher on my Aqua Gem now.
Oh, you haven't gotten it yet. Okay. Yeah, so like the volley is pretty neat. It seems like it doesn't stagger as reliably, maybe just because of the firing rate, because I just need to sit my ass still for a minute. But the big missile is pretty nice. It's not as long range as you'd think, but it's fast as fuck.
Yeah, 250 is short. That's crazy.
I noticed the harpoon missiles, actually, those apparently wince pretty hard.
Because they have explosives on them, so you know.
that caught me off guard when I was playing the Hygog, and I was like, I can't do anything. Oh no, what is this?
It's almost
Help!
like it's kind of like grenade launchers in that respect, except they're staggered out more. They feel like they have more impact.
I guess we can look at the damage on them. But what's the? It takes 3 of them to stagger. What's the stagger ratio emblem for the harpoon launcher?
35.
Okay.
Ash, I need to stop backing off after that. Just cable. There you
With
go.
damage control,
Is this guy
will
fucking
avoid it.
repairing, or is he just?
Yeah, you would need to.
That anchor is so good against like the Doulahan is gross. Anything that has a big shield, you just go up and anchor them. They're like laugh at them.
Yeah,
This is like put your shield down.
Pretty much.
yeah, it's good again. That's what I would usually engage the MLRS with. So having something like that is always pretty nice.
Yeah, that's why I hate fighting Chad when he's playing like the Goof custom and I'm playing the MLRS because I'm like, I can't break his maneuver armor quick enough. No. That's the whole fight. Is just who can I stagger him with the Vulcans, or can he hit me with the heat rod fast enough? But overall though, I'm not convinced. Maybe on the water maps, specifically like the port base, more than this map. I think it's good there. After I kind of ate my words yesterday with when I was like, "Oh, the Hygog is so much better than this. It's gonna
And
be so
then
much better in
Korath
the water."
kicked your ass in it
And
because
then
you
I just got wrecked.
mentioned it.
Yeah, I was not expecting that wince. I kind of want to go. I want a round 2 with that, but the like, because I was like, was trying to fire my missiles because I'm like, okay, I got to go with more insta stagger stuff, and then I was just like, what? I can't fire my missiles. What's going on? But
Ah, god damn it! No. Support fireman. That's what the
oh,
cable that dude's
okay. I was
legs.
like, I'm a little bit behind, so I was like, what?
I hate to see it.
But yeah, the like for instance, at 350, you have the Pell Rider. Ooh, more artillery. But you have the Pell Rider cavalry to deal with at 350 for sure, which is
Oh, that's gonna be interesting. For clan matches.
I
yeah.
don't know
What
though,
map?
Magnum. I would argue.
It's gonna be
like the
on jungle too.
versatility.
So like this
Yeah.
is just one cost off for what it's gonna be like on Saturday.
That dude got wrecked.
But I was gonna say I would argue that the versatility between those two suits are it's almost like a trade-off. Both have awkward melee to some degree. I think the uh cavalry probably has the better of the two in the form of the spear compared to the beam pick, just because of the extra range. But I mean, if you're running the
Depending on the
launcher,
distancing, it might get in a little bit of trouble too. Like if it can get on the inside, depending on the swing that it's doing, the Aqua might actually be able to nail it first before it can make contact.
well, that and the stuns on the Aqua, I feel are a little less awkward. Like cavalry has to stand still and have a beam shot, whereas like depending on which gun you're running, obviously, but even if you're running a beam rifle, assuming you can charge it, you're able to be mobile and charge up a stun. Or if you're just using the launcher, you have a rocket stagger, and you can still like follow up and harass with the like missiles that you get as a secondary when you have it equipped, on top of the other stuff that it has. And you have a good follow up slash dodge roll catch option in the form of the the anchor afterwards too. Which granted, I mean if the
The
cavalry
anchor's
is
a
doing
big
it right,
deal.
they'll just follow up. Yeah, they'll just follow up on you with their beam rifle too. But I do think like outside of Hades, it's kind of like a toss up between what you prefer. But I personally don't think the cavalry is strictly better. I don't know. You didn't say that, but
Oh well,
I
I
don't
mean
think
that
cavalry is
I'm
strictly better
kind
than
of
the
saying
Aqua.
that.
Oh well, okay then. Yeah, I don't think the cavalry is strictly better personally. Um, I think um, I think the Aqua is probably a tad bit more versatile in a frontline role than the cavalry would be.
I will say that's one thing that I guess I keep trying to think that it's more like the Aqua GM, but this thing's actually really tanky. Like that was one thing I was noticing. Like the Aqua GM, if you get on that thing, you just kind of destroy it. I really think this is like if I had to choose between this and the Aqua GM at 350, I'm definitely choosing the Aqua Gundam.
Yeah, I'd probably pick the Gundam as well. It seems like the options are a bit better. Um, Neither of them have a shield, right?
Nope.
No, but like
No
this
shield.
thing's effective HP is even on like the lower resist that they both have on their lowest. Like this thing has more effective HP overall, so it's like
Hmm.
so this thing's pretty tanky over the yeah. I definitely like this over the Aqua GM. I don't know. I think the cavalry is just insanely good. It's just the skill cap for it is definitely there, which I guess is kind of the problem. But I don't know. I just see people decimate with the
Oh, we lost one of our dudes.
Hmm. I wonder if that's because of the melee resistance Magnum, because the suits have the same H. Yeah, the suits have. Actually, the Aqua GM has more HP than the Gundam does.
Oh wait, it does?
Yeah, it
Oh.
has 500 more HP.
Hmm.
But the Aqua has more range resistance. Like the melee resistance is 7 at level 2, whereas the Gundam has 15. But you trade off the beam resistance in that respect. So that might be why it feels tankier, just because it has a better melee resist. That's where like the bulk of the damage comes from.
Ah, shit.
I mean,
I
I
don't have the.
was shooting at the thing, and I just kind of thought it had more health, and so I was just asking.
So I don't have the
Hmm.
350, unfortunately, but I do have the Aqua Gym, so we can kind of just like. This is something that I kind of miss having the shoulder torpedoes to fire on them while boosting.
Those are kind of nice. But yeah, so it only has 13,000 health.
According to this, yeah, the Aqua
Huh.
Gym is 13,500,
Yeah, I thought.
and the Gundam is 1,300.
Okay, I
Yep,
thought somebody said it had like 16,000 last night. So
said they
Maybe
wish.
they put parts on it, and that's what they got it to, or something. Because the level 2 is 14,500.
Mhm.
okay, because I was like, whoa, if it has that much health, then it's just strictly better.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't disagree. Like
Yeah.
having a ton, like 3,000 more health. Like why?
It seems like it's around the same, like side by side with the armored. Like it's not that much more. Even
Oh,
some
the
of its
Aqua.
resistance. Yeah.
Well, the armored's
Hmm.
another suit. By the way, can we get some proper scaling with suits per level, please? Goodness sake.
What's
Like,
that?
what stat is it that they don't touch that you think they should for when it comes to level scaling?
Well, I mean,
Because for
it
me,
depends on
sometimes
the
I feel
suit.
like it should also be speed.
I don't disagree with you there. Speed and turn speed should go up.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe, but I'd have to compare because there are definitely some. There are like some cases. It's like they pick and choose where like it feels like it's somewhat consistent, and then like their 3-star money suit comes out and it's like a powerhouse, and it's just like but yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. They should definitely do that.
I will say certain suits. Well, like kind of what was just said in chat. The Zaku Type S. I don't think I have the level 4, but for instance, one of the suits that I way back in the day that sadly I can't say would carry me anymore these days, but the Zaku Cannon level 6
Mhm.
was my jam back in the day because literally the stat gain that it had for level 6, you have your little stealth thing, so that's always cool. You can
Mhm.
always take advantage of that. But just like everything else, you can use a level 5 gun and whatnot, but it had what? Well, here I could bring it up real quick. 15,500 health. And back then, what do we have? Just like the gun tanks, gun cannon 2, which is the same health. No, more health than the gun cannon 2 at that point. Yeah, I think it had the most health at the time. It even has more health than the level 6 GM cannon by 1,500. I was just like, what's with all these stat upgrades on this thing? 20 ballistic resist by base. They got like the part on it or whatever. And then when they came out with the enhancement system, I got 2 complex slots for it. So it was just like, until they started coming out with better things, I couldn't stand up against if I, wanted to. Then it's kind of fallen out. But like some of the suits just have crazy scaling when they go to certain levels. Now the level 5 is decent, but then once they bumped it to level 6, that's just 2 different costs. But they bumped it like 5 costs kind of from what their scaling was. It's not that much, but you get what I'm saying. Like comparatively, it should have a lot less stats than what it has. And I don't know if that's just they really like the Zaku cannon apparently over the GM cannon, but something happened there with that one.
And like,
It could be
oh, it's
anything
got a
where it has
shield,
beams.
whatever.
Yeah, shield, beams, all that good jazz. But they figured the kit was there, even though every power, for the most part, power is like always the biggest deciding factor for stuff in this game. So it kind of falls off some. Power, it's like power and skills, I feel like.
Yep.
And then weapons.
And I know people point to like the Gov Custom and the Zuda for having jumps like that, but the Zaku cannon, from what I know, didn't really gain any jumps. Like the Zuda, it was I think Zuda is Zuda the only natural one that has like skill scaling?
I know the level 5 or whatever GM and Zaku get balancer.
Right. Oh boy.
There's like I think a couple of fringe cases, but yeah, Zuda's generally the best example of that.
But like that's kind of one of the crazy things there with yeah, actually speaking of that Type S, they're saying that you can get 17,750 health on the 351. So
When we say can, is that like after parts or
I'm
is that how
assuming
much it
parts.
has?
that's I'm guessing after parts. Is what I'm
Gotcha.
assuming. So, but so yeah, even if it's 15,000 base or something like that, that's still quite a bit of health for just a Zaku at that cost.
Yeah,
I mean, I
and
don't know.
that's not bad.
I'd have to look up and actually compare the other ones, but that's still not bad for a start. I mean, looking at the 400 Zaku cannon, for instance, and I was gushing about its health. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 350, it's 1450.
Oh, it's 1450
Hmm.
or 14,005.
Yeah, if not 1450, 500.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of health parts.
I had to like invent new ones to get it up to the thresholds when it gives you 10,000 HP.
The frames are insane though for a lot of that health stuff. I know I was trying to figure out a build to help out with the survivability of the Dovin Wolf, which is a suit I'm gonna bring up later topic. Sure. But anyway, yeah, back to the Aqua Gundam though. Health wise and stuff. Okay, so that's cool. Man, I guess it's just the utility of having some extra weapons that have better stagger ratios. I don't know. I don't feel like I get too many staggers with the missiles. Do you on the Aqua GM? Do you feel like you get those, Gustav?
Sometimes I feel like this is another one of those suits that really needs like a front line to actually kind of do all that stuff. It can front, because obviously you need to get in there for that cable. But outside of your big stagger, and then specifically if you have, the missile launcher, because this other weapon is the anchor, or not the anchor, but the harpoon launcher, which does heavy stagger. So I feel like you have a little bit more leeway for aggression if you're using that as opposed to the missile launcher. But
Well,
in this
I thought we talked about the
configuration,
harpoon gun not heavy staggering last week because I know I
Yeah,
thought it did. I thought we
I thought
discussed
it
it did.
has just a normal stagger. I've been trying to use it, and I'm like, well, this is a cool, faster bazooka, but or beam rifle that's not a beam. That's pretty much how it feels, like a GM2 beam rifle kind of thing. Only it's a harpoon instead. But
I feel like I've gotten held pretty still by people just whipping out that harpoon though.
maybe I've just been hitting maneuver armor when I'm actually, because normally I'm chasing down raids, so that could be it. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I know on here it doesn't say anything about it being a heavy stagger. On the actual wiki, usually they'll make a mention of what kind it is. But
Those kind
yeah,
of
because I
combos are
know
what I like in this suit, by the
yeah,
way.
that was dirty, dude. Like,
But
see,
that's the kind of stuff that's hard because it's a very intimate combo, right? You gotta really hope people don't get in your business.
well, that's why I kind of like the Aqua Gundam a little bit more, just because it has one more quick stagger that you could initiate with that same combo you just did. So with the harpoons, but
Also having that sniper to hold them down makes things a lot easier. So I guess that's something I kind of would like to talk about at some point. Because I bring up the idea of self-sufficiency a lot when it comes to like your own personal player ability. But combos like that bring up the fact that, well, no shit, this is a team game, right? But
yeah.
we also know that there are some suits, typically ones that we consider like OP, that can kind of just do that shit by themselves without really having to have someone else in there to supplement them. So I wonder, like, what are those suits and how like common are they, or should they be more common than they already are?
Well, what you were saying was something I was going to bring up when we got to the little general discussion
Oh
earlier.
yeah,
But
I mean we
I
can
know
hold it for that if you want. Like,
well, I can just touch on this. Like, we don't have to really go
Yeah.
into it. I was just gonna say, like, I kind of agree with what you're saying, especially now. Like, I'm starting to get the feel of it maybe works better in clan matches or like smaller scenarios where you're picking people off, but being able to hold your own is definitely becoming infinitely more relevant. Or maybe not infinitely more relevant, but um,
I mean,
I'm starting to feel like the balance between um, both aspects, like your solo play and your team play, a little bit more.
because part of that also plays into like personal reliability and stuff too. But there are other suits that help with that, I would say.
well, like for instance, I was just talking about the Zaku cannon, for instance, right? And it was my pretty much suit that carried me at 400, and then now I'm just like, yep, got to do something completely different because it's just outscaled in maneuverability for
Like
the
it's
main
not
part.
enough.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I definitely can't be self-sufficient even against some generals at this point. So it's like, yeah, that's definitely one of those. Um, looking at something like the detector, right? You could just one combo a general down easy, and they just can't do anything once their dodge rolls are done. Or even
Right.
you hit them and then they burn a dodge roll, then you hit them again after it if you can aim a lot better than I can. then you actually you just burn all their dodge rolls, and then you're like, okay, cool, you've burned 2 dodge rolls. Now I'm just gonna kick you in the face. So, and suits like that definitely are well, in support it's not as big of a deal because you can kind of fill in different roles. But yeah, for general, for sure, you want kind of the suit that can fight
Damn,
all
that
one
Aqua
on one.
Gundam like wiped our entire team stats.
Damn. Yeah, I'm changing my mind on it. Yesterday I was kind of like, nah, man, but probably still not gonna roll because
Mm.
Christmas is coming.
It'll just be an extra bonus in case you don't get the Christmas suits, right?
Pretty much.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Also, this is a 2-star, so
Oh yeah, it's in the pool.
have
I'm surprised that I
fun.
got it on
Yeah,
my
right.
first tenner.
But so yeah, final thoughts, I guess, on the Aqua GM or Aqua Gundam dive wet
That would have been a
whatever it
good
is.
thing to put like Aqua GM and then have it scribbled out Gundam.
Yes. But oh man. But yeah, the so what's our final thoughts on this thing? I've given up on saying Gundam.
For me, it's cool that they even included it. I remember seeing Maniac's reaction to it and him, flipping out as he always does. But
Wait,
this
what?
is one of those suits that I've talked about before, especially when they started bringing up water maps. It's like, hello, there's a whole ass quote unquote Gundam here that you can be throwing out, and here it is. So fuck me, here it's in the game. You can fuck around with it. It feels good that they're actually compounding on some of the aquatic suits, since they are things that they can pull out from like lore and just general mechanics books and shit like that. Not to mention that someone was bringing up the other day about it being like a countdown to us having the full list of Torrington based battle suits, and this is one of them that was on the list.
What do we not have?
Bjarlant is another one.
Oh yeah,
There was that whole argument about the Marine type Zaku versus the Mariner, and apparently that's a different thing altogether. There's a couple more.
Too many Gundams.
I had to look at because it was in the chat. I should have like copied and pasted it just so that we could keep track of that list. But that was Berserk brought that up the other day.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna go back this way.
But yeah, solid suit. Pretty cool. I'll go ahead and guess we can talk about the Zaku Marine. There we go. Type.
Yes,
Yes.
that is indeed the robot. Yeah, it's a regular stagger. Yeah, fuck me.
Oops.
Well, since you said that, I'll just add. I think both suits between Water Gundam and Water GM are pretty similar in regards to the feel, but I don't think you need to like go out of your way to spend tokens on it, unless you just have to have it or something like that. Like I would say, if you happen to get it while rolling for other stuff, cool, but do you need a well for it? No, it's not. It's no Mephis. It's not broken.
No, yeah, it's not particularly busted.
Okay, so yeah, let me change the thing here. We'll talk about the Marine Zaku.
Oh, damn it! It just shield hit. You fucker. That could have been great.
Okay, so did anybody get the Marine Zaku? Zaku Marine.
Unfortunately, no. That would have been a cool one to get. I've seen some
Giant
footage
roll.
of it, and it is Missile Barf City with its main ornaments.
Hmm.
And both with varying degrees of stun threshold on both things. On top of having Vulcans, and then of course in oddball suit style, it does not have a weapon. It actually just uses its fists and has a shoulder lean
Yeah.
that it does for its downswing.
Shoulder charge OP.
Good.
What's the stagger ratio? So it's both of it's kind of like automatic firing missiles. Is that how it's working?
So the thing that I don't know, especially for the main weapon, is whether or not it fires it all in a volley or if you can actually control it. This is where having someone who can speak English that actually has a suit would come in handy. Because I don't know that much. I was just seeing it from one of the JP guys that got it.
Chat help.
Because they hashtag do it for the content.
Woo. Yeah, they do.
That's a lot of money, dude. Like I've seen some of their like fast forwards of like all their spins to get certain things. That shit is brutal some weeks.
Okay, so do you get the stats for it up Emblem?
Yeah, for the wet Zaku.
Yeah.
The drippy Zaku.
It's be leaking all over the place.
It's so soggy.
So it's 250. That was kind of lewd, but there are two costs: 250 and 300. The level 1 version is 12,500 HP. Level 2 has 14,000. The resistances are straight across the board at 10 and 12 at level 2. The modifiers for damage, range is 15, melee is 10, 18 and 12 at level 2. Speed is 110, boost speed is 175, thrust is 55, turning is 60. I think it has medium priority. Has the standard kicking counter. And it's a 1-star. And part slots are 3 top at level 1, 4 level 2, 8 medium level 1, 10 at level 2, and then 5 bottom or range slots at level 1 and 6 at level 2.
Okay. What does it say about its main weapon? Like, does it say how it fires or?
Have you not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. Someone said there's a video,
Oh.
so I'm trying to pull that up right now.
Here, I can also send one to you. I was looking at it last night. Here. But it's kind of like the same idea as like the full armor ground missiles, except they're bigger and have a bigger blast radius. But the idea of them being missiles that you shoot at things and they blow up and have an area of effect, idea is kind of the same. They don't fire as fast, but you shoot them off.
That was loud. Awkward.
Oops. I think everything on Twitter is loud, man.
I saw that it was muted, so I was like, "Oh, we're good. It's already muted. No big deal."
Oh, you hit the play button, unmute.
Yeah, full volume. There's no volume control. It's just a death trap when you're on stream. Suddenly they like crank up some bass heavy meme or something like halfway through the video, like, oh god.
That's interesting how the missiles kind of fire and Interesting.
I like the
Or
gun.
is that shoulder tackle?
Hmm.
I kind of wonder if the shoulder tackle's any faster than other ones suits.
It looks the same, but
So how many? Wait. How many missiles on that till it actually staggers, or is it just or is it pretty much just a straight up boom box that it holds like a?
those don't stun. The stagger ratio is or it's 35%,
So
and
it's
they do cause flinch.
so it's a boom box that has stagger ratio instead of actual stun.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
Mm.
Yeah, because their
7
explosive
second
range is
reload.
like in the video, the dude staggers the two by shooting right in the middle. So that's pretty huge blast radius for those. That's
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not bad.
nice. Huh.
So this thing is a murder ball's like worst enemy, essentially.
Shooting to the group, yeah. And Gustav, what you were saying, according to this, the motion for the downswing or the attacks rather are the same as the Zaku One sniper.
Okay.
Dude, why couldn't this be a
Um,
support? I want this thing. What?
it's
It
kind of weird.
it should have been, right? Like
I mean, from
this
what I
would
can,
have been a really good like frontline melter.
yeah, like
Only
exactly the
problem is
murder
like
ball you were talking about. Like, and you wouldn't stagger your teammates as a support with this.
Low impact, high output.
I just wonder like the damage. I wonder the damage is there, like because they'd have to do like crazy damage for it to actually get played in that case, right?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, the shadow suit. I mean, I guess that's another thing too.
It's a one. Yeah.
Like how much do you
I don't know.
expect out of a shadow suit in general?
Everything.
Hang on. Let's see what the damage numbers are per missile here. Ooh, that is kind of
Says
lowish.
base damage is 500 per shot. I think they need to reduce the reload time.
I also haven't seen any in the wild yet. What about you?
Negative.
Yeah, I only played a couple of games and none of them are at this cost. One thing that I
Oh, what
guess
cost
I
does it
can
start
bring
at?
up.
I'm sorry if you said it before.
250.
Oh, was that?
250.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of want it now. I like that boom box that doesn't wreck your entire team.
One thing to note that might be what the follow up idea or the extra damage that they were going for. The melee on this thing is pretty interesting in regards to the modifiers. So it has less fall off. So normally you do half damage on a second attack of normal suits. You do 80% of your attack damage on the second attack, um, which is 30% more damage on your secondary swing. Um, and the modifiers for direction are higher for everything except for neutral. So neutrals do 100% damage.
Hmm.
Side swings also do 100% damage,
Wow.
and down swings do 150% damage.
Nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's doing tons of like he just did a neutral into down. And I was like, wow, that was a chunk.
Yeah, so I mean, think about it like that. With the modifier, you do full damage on if you lead with a neutral or a side, and then go into a downswing. You're I don't know if the math would make it any different, but you get 20% more on a normal attack um, for the downswing. So you're doing 100% on both. If you just do a little bit of additive stuff or whatever, so 100% neutral with the 150 downswing is the same as what you'd normally be doing if you just did like a downswing on a normal suit and led with it. So it's not bad. It's hit, just punch him twice.
I wonder,
Or I guess punch him in shoulder tackle.
can it move and shoot all of his weapons?
Looks like it.
Assuming
I don't know
for
why
sure
they
in
showed it
water.
standing
but-
still.
I'm saying water for the main weapon and just in general shoulders.
Yeah, you can walk around and shoot the sublock gun. I'm sure you can
Okay.
boost with it if you're underwater.
Hmm.
Let's see, yeah, Vulcans. Yeah, the missile pod as well. Looks like you're able to fire it while walking and boosting.
Okay, that's good.
Because that's how the Aqua Gym is too. So it's cool that they didn't like
Yeah.
keep it
Gimp
from
to
one and not the
Zaku.
other. Yeah.
It feels bad, Xeon.
Like oof. Talking about like unarmed combat a lot more though. I still want that other Zaku one variant that has the fucking knuckles. Like that'd be hype.
Oh, that'd be legit. Yeah.
Is it Norris's Zaku one or something like that?
Mhm.
Like,
Like give
I
it
know
the
what you're talking about.
animations of the Striker Customs fist thing and just like run it
Oh,
like that.
God.
That would be
I think it's
legit.
Zaku one
terrifying.
Q type.
I hated that thing in Gundam Online, man. Like, holy
Oh
crap.
yeah, right.
Looks like someone murdered the fuck out of you, man. Like,
Yeah, they will. Oh, this is gross.
Let me
like in
just
your
get his
fucking-
knuckles up in there.
Yeah, you're like in your double O or your unicorn or whatever, and then you like
Yeah.
just like get
Get
blown
fucked,
up
like,
instantly, and it's a fucking
oh.
like Zaku with knuckle dusters. Like, damn.
I need to get back on and play that some more.
Boom, shirt.
By the way, though, one thing I said when I was doing the update video, I was curious to know, since I knew this thing barfed missiles, I was curious to know if it was like going to be a kind of raid counter, and to really just wreck the Agu guy and Ak guy, and I think it is, because that where it builds up stagger instead of just straight heavy stagger. This
Mhm.
thing is going to be gross because it also has anti-stealth. So
Yep.
Mhm.
So it's supposed to suss them out and be like, hey,
yeah,
fuck out of here.
What are you doing in that vent?
exactly. This is pretty much just super counter to raids at that point, especially the water raids too. So
Best get up out of that water.
that's another reason why I'm kind of like, why didn't they make this
Yeah.
support too? I'll take it.
Oh god. I mean, if anything, that's probably specifically why it's not.
Yeah, because it's super easy to just
It's
save
got to be
yourself.
the raid buster.
I mean, I'll take
So
that
they made it
too.
1-star.
If people play it that way, though, right? Like, watch it just be something that they use just to go up against the murder ball, like we were talking about before.
It'll be interesting. I kind of wonder if we'll see it after the first week.
Mhm.
Because like you have anti-stealth, but I just wonder if this has what it needs to replace a cold district.
Ooh.
Hmm.
It has a dodge roll.
That's a suit that I kind of want to talk about a little bit later too. Because I still like mine, but I'm feeling like there's a little bit of a drop off as of late.
Oh.
Just touch on the skills on the suit. It has level 2 leg shock absorber. So when you land, emergency evasion or dodge roll. It has balancer, good. Has level 1 combo controller. Has underwater mobile fire.
Yeah.
And anti-stealth level 1, like we touched on. So those are the skills. Sure. I'm not sure what its Hangar skills are. They actually aren't on here right now, unfortunately. So I don't know. It seems interesting. I think it's gonna fall off. I could be wrong, but I think we'll see fringe cases after the first week.
I'm gonna call that we're gonna have one on, and I guess we can also just do our final thoughts on what we expect to do here with this. But I would say one per team, especially on water maps, because I think it probably would do the job of staggering, like an Agu guy or an Ak guy or any kind of raid a bit faster than stuff like a cold district. But the cold district's just got way too much damage output. So I don't know how it's going to compare for
Yeah.
that.
The Cold District doesn't stagger; it just fucking
It just
destroys your legs
destroys
and makes
the
you fall over when you get there.
So that's
Like,
that's
come
going
at
to
me,
be the other
bro.
thing. Like
Pick yourself up, loser.
if this doesn't straight hard counter and then you can decimate with the missiles after you knock some raid down, that's going to be kind of the deciding factor. If it, you know,
I feel with the blast radius and stuff, it can probably do both.
yeah.
Like it's gonna have like more staggers, it's gonna chew through maneuver, and then by the time you get to them, your legs are probably gonna be scrapped depending on where they're aiming. So like,
So I think it's got potential. I think it's got a huge amount of potential to be staying, especially at 250. There's not, in my opinion, the Cold Districts is pretty much the only thing I use. I actually I'm gonna have to look to see what else that I like as a general suit that cost. Oh, there's the armored GM.
yeah,
I just thought of that, right? Yeah, but that's about it. And I would probably use this over the Desert Zaku. I guess there's the
I don't know.
Kamuff
I'll
as well.
say this. I might, maybe it's a bad form to compare it to another group, but like we only see like the on and off like number of Isaacs, and granted the cost is off, but I don't know. This seems like I think the Isaac's better than the suit is, and maybe that's because it's a higher level, but it looks like a worse Isaac to me. This has a dodge roll. Like, I don't know. We barely see that suit, and I feel like their roles seem a little bit similar. Except Isaac seems a tad bit more like this might be a little risky because it actually has a second weapon. Well, I guess it has the Isaac has grenades. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I'll
mean,
stick with what I
the
was saying. I
Isaac,
don't think we'll see it anymore.
I love the Isaac. Like I pretty much
Mhm.
every time 400's up, I'm playing that just because you have so much like knowledge where everybody's at. This though, I think has the damage that it can deal with a raid though. Whereas the
Mhm.
Isaac has the utility. I don't know. I don't think I'd make that comparison. Just because its point is all the utility, where this is more of a pretty much raid killer at this cost. So, and I could see it. I don't know that like where it's hitting the support with that only doing 240, but it's doing like 300. So you're probably talking about what 350, maybe 400 at best for on a raid. And we don't know what kind of parts they have on. So, um, per missile, how many missiles? I mean, it'll loop back over here in
4.
a second. No, I'm talking about the it's secondary. So like you shoot and they're already doing that's about 600 damage. So you can do
24.
um okay, so probably won't get all 24 by the time somebody gets up, but if you hit a raid and you can straight combo them, that's probably a good 4,000 for the melee total, and then 2,400 ish for the because it'd be over 600, but I don't know how much. So that 6,400, and then whatever you can do with missiles, and if they're hitting for, that was like 330 on that general, looked like something like that. So we just say 400 per missile, and you can get 10 off while they're laying on the ground, pretty much. I think the Agu guy now has, well, with health parts that I have on it, I've got it up to 13, so it's almost dead in one combo. That's not too bad. Like that's
Yeah,
kind of
what
what
to
I'm
see.
looking at, is like something that's just gonna kill the Agu guy just straight, like, because I think the Agu guy is still a problem at 250. I think the Akai is fine. Where it's at now, in the water, it might be a problem, but I think he's gonna put the Akai back on top as far as raid picks.
Well, I mean, this would hurt the Yak guy as well, though.
Oh yeah, but like we might even see some more GM ground type then in that case. I don't know if we'll see a resurgence of the Goop though, but we'll probably see. We might see some shakeup at 250 at least. Now 300, of course, you got quite a bit more to choose from at that point. So But I wonder if this is kind of the nail in the
Oh,
coffin for.
I thought you're talking about the ground GM, but you were talking about the land combat GM, right? When you said a GM ground type.
Or the MSV
Land battle.
ground type.
Okay, sorry. I just want to make sure like they have so many suits of like
Yeah,
similar names.
not the 8th MS
Um,
team ground type, but the MSV
Mhm.
ground type.
Right,
MMS.
the
Okay.
raid.
The raid, yeah. So
We'll see. Right? We'll see.
yeah, but that's my
It'll
take
be
on it.
interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, any other thoughts, Gustav? Your final take on it?
Mm, I still want to get one just to mess with it, but I feel like it'll stick around. And talking about the Dovin, that's gonna be something I want to bring up in terms of its staying power too. Once we get to that topic.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to trying one out. I think it can stick around. As to whether or not it'll be different enough for people to really bother with, I guess that's a different take too, right? Like if it isn't outstanding in what it does, then
Mhm.
people won't even worry about spinning on it, and it'll just become uncommon by principle of people just not rolling specifically to get it. Until like I think once, and it happens with every suit, right? But once it starts to get into the shops, I'm sure we'll see a resurgence. Further into the future.
Luckily with this, it's just a 1-star though, so
Mm.
always good. Okay, so go ahead and hop into the patch notes. Next thing on the list, go. My computer doesn't break. There we go. So patch notes. The next thing we got the Ashimar level 3 and the Gaplant level 3. What do we think on what do we think about those getting 650s? I mean, for the raid, all I gotta say is Mark II Cubelate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
gonna be in trouble.
Gaplant's gonna definitely have issues.
Not only just the
current kit.
Cubelay normal, but just the Mark II Cubelay being there too.
Because I mean, that thing can punch it out with follow funnels pretty quick. But I just don't think they'll bring anything that'll shift 650 meta. Ashimar, except for its grenades, attacks at the defense everyone's buffing. And I don't know. Like obviously, like we always kind of say to savants or to people who are really good in the suit,
yeah,
will probably just be like, my time has come and crush everybody and bully. But
Mhm.
like from a general standpoint, for me at least, I just don't think it's bringing anything to the table that's gonna like change anything. You already don't even. I feel like you only see like maybe one or two. Like I don't even see the complaint anymore. Like straight up, and I don't think that's gonna change in 650. Um, and like Ashamar is kind of like a once every blue moon suit for me. So I don't think it's anything you have to go crazy about or try to unless it's just like my suit. I wouldn't go crazy about rolling for it.
I kind of want the Ashimar. I don't have either of these suits. Otherwise, there would be, on the overlay, there would be 2 of them there.
Mhm.
Two, like, okay, I do have them on alt, but I'm too lazy to swap through 20 alts to figure out which one, having to actually put them back on the thing and whatnot. But yeah, pretty much what you said. That's exactly how I feel about them. So, but there
It's
is
nice to have more transformables at those at that cost though.
We don't have a transforming support.
We'll boost the Hild offer eventually.
Oh no. What if it does get that high though? Holy shit.
That would kind of be funny, just because like how it's scaling already. It's like, and it's it's like 3 costs lower or whatever, and then finally we got the same cost as a Zommel, and it has better stats than the Zommel at its same level. Like it's just hilarious. And, I mean, of course, again, the only thing the Zommel has over it is that it has 6 shots in its thing before it has to reload the AS,
Mhm.
DFS, AQM, HLK. I don't know. Whatever the letters are for that gun. But yeah, the but yeah, there is a banner though. So if you like those suits and you're wanting a level 3, then there you go. They're in the game. Have fun. Good luck. Now this is pretty exciting. Ticket shop. We got the full armor Gundam level 3, the Gelgu cannon level 3, and the gun cannon heavy type D level 1 and 2. So just because pretty much what we said about the last 2 suits with the Ashmar and stuff, I feel like that's the Gelgu cannon and full armor Gundam at this point, because I don't think I'm not a fan of either of those suits. I'm sorry. Especially at like, is that 550 now? Again, we got MLRS there at that point. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
the Gelgu cannon, you miss, even at 450, you miss your beam shot. It takes so long to come back, and that's pretty much your primary damage. Everything else is just to like, please don't hurt me. I'm shooting a rocket
It's
at
like
you.
set up. It's like set up and keep away.
Yeah. So
At least this Goku has a shield. But those are definitely the supports where like the raid players like, fuck yeah, free
Free
support
food.
kills. Yeah.
wait,
I shall feast.
the cannon
Is it?
doesn't have a shield.
I thought it had the tiny shield. Does it not?
No, that's the
No,
ground.
that's the ground.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same suit. Gotcha. Okay.
So
Even better. Feast.
yeah, and then you got stuff like the Gelgu Jaeger at that point that is just like just use that. It's more mobile as well.
They really need to up the fire burst for the Jaeger though. You start to feel it at the higher costs for sure.
Oh yeah. Again, we need more level scaling with everything. That would be cool if they level scaled guns, Talking about the Gelgu beam rifle base just as itself. They could easily, I'm just saying, they could easily up that at like after level 3, like level 4 and 5 for sure. With what we have now, they could just literally up that and just make it like 3-second charge time or 3.5 or whatever for some of those. But anyway, so if you guys have any other thoughts on the Gelgu cannon and the full armor, I mean the full armor is at least solid, but for probably the ticket price, I haven't looked at the ticket price. Actually, I can do that real quick. But I would probably not recommend for what I'm gonna guess is gonna be 350 to 400 tickets for these. And the fact that the MLRS is already in the thing, I would say save it. Save your. Oh yeah, it's not more than 350. It's 335 for both. But the one I would recommend, definitely the level 1, is 215 tickets and then 250 tickets for the gun cannon heavy type D. And
Ooh.
I would highly recommend the level 1.
Heavy type is big bully.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't play it that much. I'm more of a full armor ground, but definitely get in there.
That's true. I feel like I haven't played it as much since I got the full armor ground, but then when I do play, I was like, oh, this actually is fun. Like, oh shit.
I just got to remember that I can actually do the shield tackle and it'll chunk as well. Like if you're needing to that extra little finish off kind of thing, you can do that, and just tackling to set up for somebody else. You can do a lot of damage. Like that's just something I don't use enough on any of the suits that have the shield tackle skill.
Because it feels like it's just such a high risk thing for you to just not have boosts just for that extra damage. But like that's another thing, just like downswinging, where you got to gauge how much you can actually do with it, right?
Yeah.
To make it worth it.
But yeah, it's got cannons, bazooka, 2 punches. So it's kind of like the Zaku Marine in that sense. Only you got the boot. Give them the boot.
The boot's just worse though, and your downswing's actually better on the Marine.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside. But I get to like thing I like about it is I get to be like, this is Gundam, and then I just yeet somebody off a cliff. But yeah, Type D could recommend for the price of the tickets. That's a really good suit at 400. What do you guys think about it at 450 though? I'm not so sure about it at 450. At that point, you kind of have its better Gundam variant being the ground type.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just gotta lean on out staggering, because you can still trade with them and probably come out ahead as long as you can keep them still. Just don't try to mash yourself in there as much.
This thing is tanky too. Like,
oh yeah,
I love playing the 400 Type D in mix up, because I'm just like, kill me again, I dare you. This isn't even my final form. Yes. Then you just end up with like 20 some K health, and I just stack. I actually need to check to make sure I swapped my build over, because I'm like, I feel like I'm doing less damage the last time I played the Type D. But I have like all the defense. I have like 40 something of both ballistic and beam, I think, on it. I'm just like, super tank. Get that 20 some K health. Ton of fun.
Dack.
But yeah, any other thoughts on the ticket shop stuff?
Get the D.
The D must
funny.
be attained.
Speaking of anything that has D, we need the Gaza D as a support that can transform. Fly.
I actually found out earlier this week. I forgot that the Gaza E is a thing too.
When does that happen? Timeline wise, do we know?
Hold on.
Actually, you know what? We've already went to Twilight Axis, so I mean, I guess using that as an excuse now is like
it's some shit like that too.
it's like just gone.
Oh, it's featured in Gundam Sentinel actually, and it's also in the anime movie, which means there's probably in the background like once, like what's up. But it definitely comes off as a very space only Gaza. It's got like no feet. And its MA mode is pretty much just a whole ass plane.
Seems cool. What about the Gaza Z?
Like, I really want a meme right now, but does that actually exist though?
No, I'm definitely just messing around. it exists now. I'll draw a doodle of it real fast.
Oh god. It has biosensor and everything. Just got Zeta.
It literally is the mobile suit to end the universe.
Oh,
no, it's just a flying head. Sorry to disappoint you guys.
Man.
Yeah.
It's just
not the final form is not always cool. Sometimes it's just a Zeong head. Gaza Zeong.
Oh no. Oh, okay. So they came out with the symbol. We got the sea serpent symbol. Yeah.
Hey.
And
but it uses a claw gun.
Wow.
That's not a sea serpent.
by the way, we also got a mislabeled weapon added. The twin beam rifle is supposed to be in the ticket shop for the full armor Gundam. And it's labeled full armor, or sorry, twin beam rifle Thunderbolt level 3 instead.
Nice.
And I was just like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
They're just
Because
confused. They're the same suit. One just doesn't have a ton of shields, right?
well, that's the funny part though, is like, remember when the full armor Gundam had melee priority 3?
Yeah, and you were talking about them using like name like weird naming codes
Yeah,
in
they
the data or
probably
something. Yeah.
yeah, they probably just this is just that again probably. Maybe that same mistake over again. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh, the full armor problem lives again.
Yeah. Intern Timmy left a
Yeah,
TD and it's like, what is this? Too many Gundams, man.
yeah, this is just some
I'm trying to
intern
get
who
through
wrote that
college.
code. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm trying to get through college. I don't know what a Gundam is. That's a cool looking transformer.
Oh, full armor? It probably does the same thing as the Thunderbolt, right? They're all the same. They have the same name. They just have one has letters after it, so it'll use the same stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I went to Google full armor Gundam. Oh, this is that one. Okay, TB.
This totally checks out.
um. Okay, so next we have the GPO3 Stamen in the DP store. I will say I am so glad I got the GPO1. The buffs on it are great. The Stamen feels better with its new set of shots for its side weapon, but other than that, the extra health definitely feels good. Have you guys played the GPO1 or the GPO3 after they buffed them?
Yeah, I played around with both. The one is nasty now. It's kind of weird. Like I remember when we were talking about like the 3 being the better of the 2, and now I would have to say that the 1 is vastly superior, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, after I went in with the 1 and just started doing his downswing and stuff on people, I'm just like, this thing's good. Like, and it's so easy to combo with. Like, the reaction time of the downswing, yes, it's long, but like you pretty much instantly knock somebody down. It's so quick for that upswing to just start hitting people.
Yeah, catches their pinky toe and just like rips them all the way up.
Yeah, man, slapping those Doven wolves around, you get in their face and just like, oh,
Like, oh shit!
Oh, yeah,
knocked
that's
down
pretty
now.
nice.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Stamens by comparison are like catch me.
Yeah, right.
Because their hitbox doesn't start until they start to move their arm for the slash.
I wonder if
See,
they should
many
change
of
that.
they really should, because
I mean-
we have the VD as a presence, right? Like its shoulder rush before it whips out the arm is still a hitbox. There's literally a
'cause you
giant
can hit
suit coming
twice.
at you at high speeds. Like, why the fuck wouldn't that impact you somehow?
Yeah, it should be like that actually, because you can hit twice with that thing. Once at the body and then again with the saber. They should make it work the same way on this. Also, that is kind of interesting.
I think they didn't want to do it that way just because it's not supposed to be a 2-phase.
It
Yeah.
might
Right?
need it
Because it's so fast that it's supposed to be that you space it, you get there, and then you hit past them anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I feel like
don't
it's
need
definitely meant to get you in at a range where you're not expected for sure.
It. Although
least
for a
you
lot
got-
of people, like it's pretty obvious when they're lining it up. So it's just like I said before, catch me.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you just get fucking countered or smacked out of it because I don't think they have. I think it's still just 2 priority, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not broken. It doesn't get the Daddy Mark II priority or the freaking.
Some Mark IIs just kind of look at it like, "What the fuck are you?" Smack and just hit it.
Well, and with that too, Berserk in chat, he pointed out the like at 550, the GPO1 is really good, and at 600, the Stamen can kind of do a bit more, just because there's less things with high melee priority to deal with.
That's true.
Cough, cough, Mark IIs. Like, it's kind of funny. I thought the 600 Mark II would just be this devastating thing, but like I don't really see too many 600s, and when I do, like I normally see other stuff at those costs doing better.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It is kind of an interesting thing for the Mark II to have to compete at with the 01.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I wonder with the 01, like I kind of don't have the 600, but I kind of want to know what the stat difference is between like the 550 Mark II and 01 and the 600 Mark II and 01. That'd be
Well, I remember early on people were saying that like remember when they were bumping up the level for the Mark II in general. It's like if you have a 500, don't worry about it. Like you'll be fine.
yeah.
It's not too much of a difference just because of how like generally busted the suit was, but it's like the old one's doing that and it's been doing it for a minute. And now it's doing it better because of the buffs.
Mm-hmm.
So at
I think the bigger difference is that it doesn't have as much versatility for where it can kind of move because of that aerial controller. So it can't change its direction quite as normal as irregularly. But brass tacks when it comes to the clash, I feel like the 01 still wins out a lot of the time.
oh wow, the 01's pretty tanky as well.
Yeah, Priority 3 is nice, right?
Yeah, it's zippy, but it's not maneuverable. It doesn't have those extra like movement options.
It has the ground specialization too, which kind of helps over the Mark II's space.
It's funny though, because even then, like you got the FB zooping around for space.
Wow. Okay, the Mark II's beam saber is just gross for its base damage.
Yeah, base damage on that thing slaps stupid hard.
Because I was noticing my damage numbers are kind of gross. I'm like, whoa, it has more percentage. I was like, what's the base? And I was like, oh, it's just 2200. But
Slap the base.
but yeah, Emblem, do you have the differences between the 600 and 600 Mark II? I mean, I could kind of guess by. It looks like they go up 1,000 on health for the Mark II. I'm guessing it would be 16,000 health compared to the GPO1's 18,000. Or is it? Or do they just go
So
up by
the 550 Mark II is 15,000, and the level 3 at 600 is 15,250.
Oh wait, really? What? Okay,
Mhm.
never mind. That makes a whole lot more sense. Holy crap! They mud rocked it, dude. That's what I'm just so mad about the mud rock. I also, by the way, I'm probably just because I spun on it and then found out about it. It just was sad. And then at the same time, then the next week they came out with the Zusa, and I didn't get it, and I could have done another 10 spin on it if I just didn't spin on the mud rock. So maybe that's why I'm so tilted over that. But anyway, man, like I'm just gonna start calling bad stat upgrades for stuff they add now, mud rocking it. Ugh.
Well, how much fame the Mark II has, maybe they did it for that reason, because like in comparison, like sure you don't have the other stun, but like that's a notable, definitely notable difference in HP. I mean, you have 2,750 more health on the. Well, I'm looking at the wrong levels though. Let's see, compared to level 3.
I mean,
Sorry, 1,750 more HP. That's not bad. Both of them have a shield. Take my goop. I'll take an extra
Yep.
stun in a second roll. And shitty Vulcans. Vulcans not be that bad. Let's see.
They're not a Vulcan pulled.
And
they're
shitty
no Vulcan
Vulcans.
pod though. Yeah. It's kind of hard to beat the Vulcan pod in general.
yeah, that
That's
thing's
another
pretty
thing that it
good.
definitely has because it's like it can literally just casually stroll around you and melt your health for nothing.
Oh, interesting. The GPO1 shield has more HP than the Mark II as well.
So
fancy, thick, fold-out shield that it has.
Let's say Mark 1 or Mark 2. Mark 2, whatever.
what's the does the ballistic at 600 for the Mark II go to 20?
No, 27.
Wait. Ballistic resistance?
Oh, sorry, I looked at a correction. 20 or 18, my bad.
Wait, 18 for level 3?
I thought you said level 2. 19.
Okay. Oh, so it goes what? 1 1 and then so 19 19 and then 3, I guess. So 20.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, that's right. I've got the upgrade. So melee resist. Okay. Huh. What's the correction for it though?
I don't know. Why? Where 23 come from? It's 19, 19, 25. But sorry, ask the question again.
What's the range strength and melee strength? The corrections.
For level 3 Mark II, it's 29 and then 36.
I think they literally scaled back all of its scaling, which is kind of funny. Yeah, that's kind of.
It's consistent in damage from each level. 2% per level on shooting. 3% per level on melee.
They just scaled back its tank. Interesting. Tank. Because I'm looking at, like I said, I don't have the last one, but the level 1 has what, 16, 16, 23, or 22. Then
yeah, in this case,
18, 18.
From 1 to 2, they increase the stats by 2%, but from 2 to 3, they only do 1%.
That's interesting.
The defenses, and then that laughable 250 HP. That's definitely the leg, the quick boost equivalent of HP.
Oh god.
Oh man.
We noticed it was dying faster, so we gave it 250 HP. See you on the battlefield.
Good old magical pixel for you. How about that?
Kobe here. Mark II are getting clapped. 250 HP.
Oh my gosh.
I give him some head pats for the Mark II, please.
Yeah, level 3 is level 2.5 instead. That's funny. Good job, chat.
It's still slappy around though.
Oh yeah, that's true. I still hate seeing them. Like, is that a raid?
It's like the Akai is their precious baby, but the Mark II is their waifu.
I thought it's a Cubile.
Oh yeah, well yeah, they're not.
That's
yeah,
their new
Cubile
flame.
is like,
That's what that is.
I can get behind that. Got a big old They got body pillows of Haman for everybody at the office and BB.
Banzai!
250s out! Come on, body pillows. No off is like, sing John. And
now they got those fucking O5 mouse pads or whatever.
and I need to get a job at BB Studios. This sounds fucking awesome over there.
If only it were so, huh?
Yeah. Don't worry, but you'll know when I start working there, because the Methus will suddenly get 6 more beam sabers.
Just lose its
weird. I thought this was a general.
Suddenly has like a spinning downswing. Just what the hell's going on here?
Its downswing is a spinning downswing, and it throws its beam sabers out
after the fact. Yeah.
During the downswing.
So, oh shit.
Yeah. So it has like range.
It's
like twice the range. Yeah, it's like twice the range of the Freet Nox spin.
Mm.
And then your
and
counter
it doesn't hit teammates.
And can't be countered because it's like the hyper hammer.
Oh no.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely.
This is true. Man.
And then the counter animation is going to be like 10 minutes long, and you 100 to 0 somebody.
Just stabbing a bunch of fucking sabers.
You just start stabbing.
Yeah,
them,
when you get a successful counter, the Methus activates Trans Am, and you actually one-shot everybody on the enemy team with a cool counter animation because you Trans Am burst and murder everyone.
Did a 7 sword attack with your sabers.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
And cut the map in half.
Yeah. And it just ends with Faw's head just like slowly plummeting onto the stage, and it just crushes the entire battlefield. And when it impacts, the last thing you hear, instead of like an explosion, when it comes down, you hear, "Come here, come here!"
Kind of like those crows that go, "Ahoy, ahoy!"
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's good.
It has to echo in the distance before the explosion.
For sure.
Come here, come here, come here.
So stupid.
Operation British, never heard of it.
Oh,
Just watch out for Fa.
I think I need to grab some alcohol with this now after that one.
Yep, some weird Evangelion vibes here now.
I'll make Battle Operation fun. Let me in,
that,
BB.
The last movie for that is coming out next anime season.
I don't believe it.
There's a release date.
Yeah, I mean, I believe the movie's coming out. Yeah, but last
yeah.
How many last movies has Eva had now? Like
oof. Yeah.
Oh, so not even the release date, just the that's not the
Yeah. After I
There'll
said
be another revision.
After I said but there's at least a release date, I was like, oh wait, no, he's talking about oh no.
Yeah, like they're gonna make that movie, and then the dude that makes it's gonna realize, like, damn, I should have made that cup 3 inches to the left. Let's remake the whole fucking movie franchise.
Wrap it all. Let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Unit 1 was supposed to step on that building. We got to start over. Let's go ahead and finish up.
It's like you always hear about creators who like kind of get shadowed over by their bigger series and stuff, and then this is like the complete opposite. It's like, nah, I just want to be here. Don't let me. I don't need to do other shit. I got this.
But yeah, the
tangent time over.
Yeah, pretty much. Stamen. Yeah, I was like, where were we? I was trying to go backwards, and I suddenly was just like, no.
I think last thing we were talking about was Faw's head.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to go too far backwards. I would get lost.
You have to rewind a little bit.
Like,
and Faw's head will crush the entire stage.
Yeah, I was like going. I hit the rewind button in my head for a second.
Reverse a little bit more.
And I was like, wait a minute. Okay, let's just snip this part out and forget that happened, and like pull the tape out and cut it. And okay, now where we're
like it's just him talking about it being like crushing the entire stage, and it just cuts out.
Okay, but anyway, so yeah, Stamen level 1 in the thing, DP store. It's pretty good. Really interesting that the O1's in the buffs and stuff. Yeah, words. Okay. Next. Clan matches. Yeah. So Saturday morning, 4 a.m. Pacific, 5v5, 350 because they're doing that with the suit cost thing.
Hey,
Target shuffle,
following that trend. Let's
and
go.
jungle.
I wish I had a level 1 for the Aqua Gundam. I don't though.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. I thought about doing a couple of spins just because of
that. I mean, I still got that. So I was about to say, like, I got the Aqua Gym at least. That seems like it'd be a good pick. Just have a lot of stuff to constantly have output, and you have that cable.
Yeah, it's one of the big things.
Well, go ahead, keep going, man.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is one of the big things is that it just has that cable, and like that's a huge utility, really. I just gotta get used to throwing it. A little weird. Feels different than the heat rod, or maybe I'm just crazy.
I think just because the actual like object itself is bigger, you feel the speed more. It doesn't seem like it goes out as fast, but it's probably pretty much the same speed.
But so
It's
yeah,
just because the game hates you.
Damn.
this is top. They have the rewards on this.
Mm-hmm. It's at
Okay,
the
here
very
it
bottom.
is.
You have to go to a different page.
So top 10 plans for this one,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the suit. Oh yeah, and there's the stallion.
A horse.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's great. But the what is it? What level is there? It is. Here we go. Yeah, 300 cost. I was gonna try to show it, but the Zaku Desert type DA. Have we actually seen this thing in action from anybody yet, or?
I've seen videos of it.
Okay. Might actually try to get that ready next time. Actually show that on the next one. Actually, I say that I just realized what next week is. But
The Thanksgiving special of Downtime in a Hangar.
yeah,
It was gonna just be me. 'Cause I'm not going anywhere.
yeah. I was gonna say. I mean, right now everybody's pretty much quarantining, so yeah. I mean, I'll probably
It's
have a ton of turkey, but that's beside the point.
Downtime Friendsgiving.
I'll probably fall asleep on you guys, but that'll be the difference there.
Just
But we
the
can-
itis. The
Yeah, we
itis
can-
kicked in halfway through.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Ooh.
I've had too much turkey. I've ate 10 pounds of turkey. Ugh.
I
I'll just-
pretty much just gonna like splurge on there and just like make a big ass dinner.
Yeah, my grandma, she's making me a big thing of dressing, and
Yes,
we're-
grandma food.
yeah, we're passing the food out as how we're celebrating, and then
Oh,
we're
that's
gonna
cool.
yeah. So everybody still gets to eat all the food. It's just we're gonna be hours and hours apart.
Yeah.
So
Both
Call
of my
in
folks,
with Alexa.
both of my folks sent out like invites. It's funny because they're like, we're not gonna do Thanksgiving here, but we're gonna go to Ohio to have a thing with my friends. And it's like, first of all, no, you're not, because they just did more restrictions over there. Second of all, how is that better? So, yeah, it's gonna be weird. I'll probably just get a bunch of leftovers from people.
yeah, I've already
I was
made.
there from our Zoom call.
Today I was one of the things I did today was get like cut up some of my pumpkins.
Cool.
So the pumpkin that was gonna be for the couch, like that huge pumpkin, I cut that up.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna have some pumpkin pie and stuff like that. And it's gonna be keto pumpkin pie. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like no sugar, I guess.
Yeah, and the crust, I'm gonna try to actually make a crust myself, since it's gonna be like a pumpkin pie, so it's gonna hopefully taste good still. Because I try to make like a chocolate pie with, like almond flour crust kind of thing. Yeah, that was that one's back to the drawing board. It's like my
Oof.
it's like my almond
It's like a
flour
caramel
pancakes. I can't do that either.
Nah, no, it feels bad, man. Caramel pie is amazing.
I mean, I can. It's just I have to give half of it away because
Too
like,
much.
yeah, because it's like
Sugar.
well, my grandma set out because she accidentally started making some food this week, and she was like, "Oh wait, yeah, Thanksgiving's next week."
Whoops.
So she set out some zucchini bread, and I brought some zucchini bread home, and I was just like, okay, how much of this can I have? Like, okay, so she puts this much in of this much. Okay, so that's like, oh, I probably shouldn't have no more than like a 1 inch by 1 inch block.
Oof.
And I was just
Yeah,
like,
Rough.
and then I took that and I ate that, and then I'm like, my alarm starts going off, and I'm like, what? How am I over 200 already? No, Nani?
Naughty! Grandma's over there.
Like as it keeps going up, I'm like, Chotomate, Chotomate.
Yamete kura, stop it!
But yeah, so but like yeah, so I got to be careful with that. I found that out. So I gotta eat very low amounts of that. But yeah, it's good. Zucchini bread's good. Too much sugar.
That's gotta be the rough thing
everything.
too, trying to remember like family recipes and like how much do they actually put in and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I have like a whole list of them. Like, I got it here.
Luckily, I'm really good with numbers like that, so
Mm.
I know most of the recipes. But as to what's actually in them, I don't know. I've just memorized all the carb values of things. I'm like, what's that called that they put in this? Oh well, whatever. Sure, it's just got 39 carbs per cup, so we're good.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anyway, Thanksgiving tangent over with. So yeah, clan stuff. So the rewards though, top 10. And then we'll talk about the suit. Oh yeah, that's right. I already said that. Okay. Anyway, what do we think is going to be the meta though with this one? Do we think we're going to see a lot of the Gundams or not?
I think Moist Gundam will show up.
A lot of Moist Gundam.
Yeah.
Because it has the basic stuff of the other suits. The rougher thing is just the beam pick, but it kind of makes up with it for the cable. And there's just gonna be variants between the beam and the missile launcher or whatever. I guess other typical 350 suits. Probably gonna be some cold districts at least. Maybe some other aquatic like raids if he has someone that's like super sweaty. What would we say for support?
Rabbit type.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or maybe the Desert GM. Probably be the other one.
I wonder if anyone's gonna try to whip out a Gigan.
Oh yeah, Gun Tank 2.
Yeah, I could
would be
see this
nice.
showing up a little bit.
I also really like. I still think the in my opinion, I love the Zaku cannon rabbit type. So I think that's the best. But
It's the more sensible choice for sure.
the close second, in my opinion, would be the Dom Cannon multi-gun. Like, I know I haven't played it in a
Oh
while.
yeah, the multi-gun.
Yeah, but like,
Do you think we'll see any flight types? Because my stupid ass will probably try, but
yeah,
I
we'll probably see some
wonder.
flight test. It's pretty good on that map.
It's hard for me to say. I'm out of touch with that cost. I really don't try to play 350 and lower all that much anymore. So I'm not 100% sure.
Personally, I think the sweatiest team will be 3 Pale Rider Cavalries, a I don't have the Scope
oh
Dog,
yeah, the Easy 8 weapon rack too.
and then probably oh yeah, I forget about the weapons rack. It's 350. Yeah, so probably a weapons rack. Well, I mean, pretty much all the supports work really well, just as long as you can combo with a team. But either the multi-gun, probably the weapons rack, not the normal weapons rack, but the Easy 8 one. Feels bad. Normal weapons rack.
Oof.
Gun Tank
Poor
2,
bastard.
and then yeah, of course rabbit type. Yeah, that would be my picks for support. Other than that, though, again, like I said, my opinion of the cavalry is kind of too good.
Maybe a couple high gogs.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh yeah,
Chopin's
I
not too
think we'll
bad.
definitely see
maybe
higher
a-
GOG
Zaku
on
will be in
jungle.
there.
And then maybe a test type. Those would probably be the 3. And then, of course, I would bet some people are going to try the Aqua Gundam. But
Not to mention the Ifrits, right? Because you got shoddy spanking you can do.
man, it's true. Shotgun.
Gotcha. I feel like there's a lot of suits that at this cost have been scaled up or are still very relevant because they're just starting here, so it's gonna be pretty diverse.
I remember taking a GOG in for one of the clan things that they had. Or
Gog would be
Heroes and
cool.
Clan. Either way though, but yeah, I still like the GOG.
I think GOG
Zogak,
is gonna be a death wish.
yo,
unfortunately.
Zogak for sure is gonna be in there with that punch.
Yeah, Zogag's still pretty solid. I like how they keep buffing it. Like, hey, go.
Hmm.
Shame that Zagaki is 400.
Yeah,
Shame that the Zagok just sucks.
You ain't the lion. You won't see that one.
it is definitely a struggle.
Like
Oh,
that is.
Ram Zagok is there though, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the Ram Zagok would see some play. I think that suit's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Never mind. Forget I said just the flipper. Yeah, that's
Right. Not to mention it's a flex and a half.
yeah. That thing's good.
We've won a prior clan battle, or at least top 100.
Are you ready?
I think we'll see the draw C.
Just flop it into the river. You'll figure it out.
Oh no.
Get in here!
Suddenly,
no.
just you breach the water with its saber out. Ah, what the is it?
I'll be like, wait. When did Laura show up as a character in GBO2?
Universe.
Come on, Laura Rolla.
No, I'm
Hey.
talking about from the yeah, I forget all the names. Oh man. But I was talking more about the Gundam tabletop that I'm running.
Mm.
And there,
Oh.
yeah, Emblem, you were there for that. You were still in on that when the Ogo got modified to be a submarine rather than a
Oh my god,
space
that's
Ogo.
awesome! An aquatic Ogo.
Yeah, they modified it. Yeah, I let them modify it if they
That's
rolled
cool.
and got enough points for it, and they did. And so I was like, okay, cool. You modify it now; it's a submarine instead of a spaceship. Good. So,
Who piloted that? Oh god.
Hikaru was the one who went over in that, and then got out, and then they carried it back afterwards because he got into shenanigans. They still have it, by the way, which is kind of funny.
It's just kicking around in a ship, like, just
Yeah.
in case.
But they were joking about making an aquatic Zanzibar, and I'm like, oh no. But anyway, so yeah, next week is 450 cost. We can
Mm.
make some guesses when we get to the next suit. But yeah, let's go ahead and we want to go ahead and hop into the general discussion.
Sure.
Okay, what are we actually going to title this section?
I just put GP meta. Meta
That's good.
commentary, maybe.
There we go. We'll just go with GP meta. Sure. Okay, so yeah, where do we want to start with this one? Because yeah, I mean, it is about general suits, so they're kind of all over the place. But
I mean, we can kind of start by kind of looking at the roles that the suits play, and kind of like how we talked in the past about the different types of support, being like sniper, cannon, stuff like that. Like, what do you guys think the different types of generals that we have right now are?
everything.
Mhm. It's the idea of like them being general over like how much specialization is too much specialization for them to be general purpose.
Yeah.
Because we have pseudo everything now, right? Like we joke about the Mark II being pretty
Oh.
much just like a blue raid, or pseudo supports are a lot more prevalent nowadays.
We don't have a general tank.
That's true. If we're talking form factor, then there's probably a couple things like that
Nah, we
haven't figured
have
yet.
the Doven Wolf.
I think he meant more literal, but
No, I mean, I think it's
That thing's
classified.
pretty much a tank.
I think it. Can you counter it? Can you counter it? I think it's technically
I'm
classified.
pretty sure you can. I think you can, yeah.
Dude, I want to see someone pick that thing up and throw it down now.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't know. I can look at the page. I think it'll tell you if you can't be countered.
But I mean, it's a Zoc is pretty much what I would classify it as. But so yeah, that's kind of the thing with generals though, is they pretty much kind of dip into everybody's area, and it's like, hey man, why you do this? Why do you got to be almost better than the? I mean, again, I don't know if we should point out it because I know we've talked about this before, but how generals kind of seem to just be the better version of whatever the, if it was like, oh well, if this was a support, it probably would be worse, or if this was a raid, it would probably be worse. So,
Right.
like, I don't know if we want to get back into that, but I kind of don't. I'm trying not to get too much into the support or raid talk, but like the main things that a support brings, I guess, just the base idea is that it brings the data link so that you can see everybody's health bar. So, what if they started adding
I
that
kind
to
of think the
generals?
damage, like, I don't think that's not important, but I think the damage that the support brings is infinitely more important than the health bars.
I mean, from what I understood when I first was getting into it, that was one of their big deals. Is like they always have the observational data link, and then the Gigan came out
because they had to add it to the Gigan. So I mean, I feel you there.
So,
which that's kind of a weird flex too, right? Like that should have been there from the get go.
Oh yeah. So, man, there's just a ton of generals. Like that's the thing; they have kind of everything covered in some way or another. Because you got snipers, you got. Go ahead.
I guess I was just saying, I guess in that regard though, like one of the reasons kind of why I wanted to kind of break out the different like types and maybe give a few examples is to kind of look at like how those suits fit in comparison to a similar support. So like, how does a GM sniper White Dingo play in your eyes compared to like a GM sniper 2 or something like that, or I don't play my full armor ground type like I would the full armor Gundam. In that regard, I mean, there's some similarities, but I'm generally a little bit more close range.
Oh yeah, for sure with the snipers. Which I mean, I play close range with just about everything. I play everything mid range because again, they have the observational data link.
Barrage close range.
Facts. But I mean, like but with the like snipers, even again, you have the observational data link. If you're too far away and you're shooting at max range, you're not using the data link. So I don't know, especially when I'm with randoms, because I've kind of wanted to. All right, now I'm getting into support things. But well, I guess it's more clan match. We kind of talked about this. I will say this. Do you think in clan matches, because I've been seeing a lot more teams that are just not taking at some cost, they're not taking a support at all. They're doing like 3 generals, 1 raid, or even just 4 generals. And kind of looking at it, depending on the cost and what suits you have available, if you got enough damage to kind of compensate or just outdo in some cases, like just having good communication where everybody's at and what you're focusing and how your team's actually playing probably would do better than just seeing that someone's on low health. And if everybody's calling everything out and focusing the same target, there's not really much of a need to as long as good calls are being made, you don't really need the data link as much.
Well, I'll touch up on there too. Kind of what I've been noticing, and we've been trying to work on improving a little bit with what we're trying to do. But like we're starting to notice that murder balling too hard really just gets you punished. Um, so we're trying to break off our grouping a little bit, not to the point to where like we're disjointed, but where we're still efficient, you know? Like
Yeah.
what's the old like business thing about like the more people you add, the less efficient the operation gets?
Diminishing returns.
Yeah.
It's kind of
So
yeah, thank you, diminishing returns.
it's more about the idea of like, instead of the murder ball being the like bringing the kills onto people, it's about like widening out and putting it in between everyone.
Yeah, you pretty much
Yeah.
want like 2 people just decimating a dude while the other, like if it's a 4v4 for instance, you want 2 people decimating a dude while the other 2 are kind of allowing that to happen by keeping the other people at bay.
Mhm.
And
Watch
I
your
mean,
friend get torn to
I
shreds.
honestly would almost say like depending on the situation, you kind of if it's a 2v2, it's only a 2v2 for a very brief moment of time. Like maybe enough for you to set up the person actively engaging that person to be able to like set them up for a stun or something. But like and again, there are a bunch of different factors, but I would say like in the case of like a fight, if a fight's going on, because like in that 4v4 scenario, like let's say maybe it's a raid in 3 generals, right? Um,
Mhm.
like the generals are acting as, and this is what kind of what we were running with our teams when we were doing our clan practice. um but the generals would essentially engage the enemy team, and if there's a support, the raid tries to loop around and get the support. But if there's another raid, and I don't know, maybe let's just say like both teams are exactly the same, the raid kind of just maneuvers around and tries to get into openings. But like the generals at the time, like maybe like one of the generals notices the raid, um like um one of the generals that were with us would essentially like move to peel that general off of the raid, so they could do what they're doing. So like almost like training dance partners,
Yeah.
in a sense. So like um, we were working with excessive NaCl. We call him Salty, but we're trying to essentially become more efficient in 1v1s, because you're going to have to be able to hold your own plate. And like obviously, less people there are, the more concentrated you can get. But
Mhm.
like, if the generals are doing their job and getting the generals off of the raid when you're trying to like take out the support when it's there, like you know, they need to, instead of just holding the line or trying to force like a 2v1 while you've got like the 3v2 going on. Um, you're just trying to keep it as even as you can and rely on your teammates to be able to finish their plate. And again, it depends. Like it maybe if like the guys just go for a, like the 2 get a double knockdown and it's a pseudo 2v1 for a second, you could break off and help out your other guy or something like that. But it's just all situational. But
My
it
only
definitely feels like being able to hold your own in the 1v1s is super relevant.
problem with that is
Mhm.
like because if you're holding too much like of a even back and forth, then um placing like again going for like say top 10 or whatever. I don't know. I feel like you would want to do more of a risk versus reward strat than, so that means killing the enemy team as fast as possible.
Mhm.
Well,
So if you
that's
can just
why you have
pop
your
one,
team.
two,
That's
two,
why you have your
two.
members split up, though. If everybody's able to hold their own and they're competent, you have like everybody does explosive damage. The raid can, if the raid's able to get their combo off, they're like one combo into support, so that's an instant win at 1v1. The generals are sticking together, so they're able to get that quick poke damage in, and because everybody's not like spreading the fight around, the damage is a little bit more focused, and you're able to down those targets quick, at least from what I've experienced. And again, as more people are down, like once the raid's able to do their job and they kill the general or the support rather, like they're bringing that damage to help finish off the generals at that point.
Mhm.
And then you just kind of like try to rinse and repeat, assuming they're doing the usual spawn drops and whatnot. At least from, like I said, from what I've seen, like I get what you're saying, but like I feel like it's comparable. Like at least when we were doing the practice rounds.
Yeah, because you have to assume that the enemy team is going to go in for that risk reward mentality anyway, and if you can catch them within your kill zone, then they'll just start melting.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Maybe I'm not visualizing what you're talking about as well, but
Well,
we
let me
need to draw a
let me
picture.
give an example. Yeah, maybe. Let me give an example of like a case where grouping up too much might get you in a situation where like you're being overwhelmed because a team that's better at dividing their resources has the better advantage. Have you ever been in a fight where like you feel like your team is pretty close together and you're like the guy and like maybe you're the raid, right? And the rest of your team is like generals and a support, and they're all like murder balling or something, and the enemy team, like maybe they got you in a choke or something, but the enemy team is keeping everybody back with their like, I don't know, 3 guys, while the 2 murder your raid. And then like once things start to break off, like every moment was like, man, it seems like everybody's together, but like, and then everybody's saying like, I keep getting caught in these 2v1s. And like how are we not pushing back when they have like so many people who can fight me or whatever? I don't know, maybe that example is kind of counter, but
well, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know,
Like
Well,
in that case,
City
the enemy
Ruins is a
team.
very good example, like map wise, of where that happens, right? Because
Well,
that's all about elevation and spacing too.
yeah.
So you get a murder ball. You know how people tend to converge on one spot, and you know, if the other team does start to spread out and they take advantage of like the bridge while also having people on the ground floor, a lot of times they can pick apart that murder ball, especially if they are really tight together. So everyone's there, they're all doing something, but they're having to point in different directions while just getting shredded by everyone from the outside.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily saying murder ball. What I'm kind of talking about, I think what we're doing here is we're arguing the same point, only we're because I'm bad at explaining
it a
things.
different way.
Yeah, I'm bad at explaining things anyway. So that very probably because what I'm talking about is kind of what you explained the enemy team was doing in that scenario, where you have the enemy team complaining so the strat that I'm saying you do is the enemy team should be complaining, oh, why is there always a 2v1 going on and we can't seem to do anything else.
Yeah, I think
so
I think
I'm saying you maneuver around like you cast a wide net till you get one dude and then you just boom, he's dead, boom, and then once you break that one, you just poof, you broke their line. But you gotta get 2 people on one, take him out, and then you mow them down.
I think the big difference is like I feel like I'm explaining a 1.5 v1, and you're explaining a
Well,
2v2.
okay, well,
if that makes sense.
well, see, that's okay. So that's what I'm trying to. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, then we're saying the same thing because you shouldn't have 2 people just being like, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
committed
blah,
on
blah.
one
Like
person.
it should be like,
Okay.
okay, I've caught him, boom, 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 I've done my thing. Now the other dude comes in and does his thing, and then the other dude's also keeping at bay, and then maybe takes a shot while he's running away or something. Because that's, I mean, you're not just gonna stay there as 2 people for way too long. It should just be a smooth,
Okay.
boom, boom, trade. I've comboed, you're in, and then if it takes, like say, depending on the suits and the cost, you might need to do a 3 combo thing where you do like you saw him dodge roll. So you're like, you call out he has no dodge roll because somebody like the support shot him and he dodge rolled. Then these 2 over here, they go toward him, and since they know he has no dodge roll, you get a stagger. This guy hits, and then say it's going to take a 3 combo from there of their combos. Then he just pulls back. The second dude comes in, does his smack and combo, and then he leaves to go help while this guy finishes him off, and then you go do that to the next guy. Or even if it's just a 2 combo, let's shorten it down to a 2 combo. Support hits him, boom, the dodge roll, that same call. this guy comes in, boom, 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 and then he just leaves and goes to help the team while this guy finishes them off, and then everybody.
Yeah, I like the second example better because I was
Yeah.
going to say the first one sounds like you're using too many people resources to take out a target that should be pretty free.
Like I was
the
thinking
third person,
maybe more if it was like a support and you didn't have a raid on your team kind of thing.
Because it's
kinda-
taking the downswing principle from like the really high end competitive teams to like a different level, right? You do your damage, you do your whatever, and then yourself, as opposed to it being just when you confront them being on their ass.
Yeah. So that's So we're essentially explaining the same thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's. So with that in mind, back to now I can't remember where I was going with, because was I the one who started that? I think I was the one who started that one with the.
Well, I mean, the
'cause I was
interesting
talking
thing about
about-
this is the idea that like this is all fine and good for like clan matches and stuff. But these are things that are kind of hard to do in pubs, right?
Yeah.
I think it's easier to pull off if you're a
tend to get people
general.
in trouble a lot. And that's the bigger thing, because you're more flexible.
Right. Because like I don't know what most general players are thinking, but they're all like so focused on, doing whatever the fuck generals do.
I think that's where
card.
I think that's where the meta in this case has kind of made a mistake, because the general blue Zuka meta, the first combo everybody learns, and even in my videos, which I think I'm gonna try to redo, because I'm wanting to kind of go through and just do suit after suit kind of thing. But I think one of the biggest deals there with the like the blue Zuka meta originally was you just hit them downswing, finish in the downswing and then jump back, shoot again, maybe get another downswing in, right? And while that combo can leave somebody almost at no health or sometimes kill them, a lot of times I end up with, because lag's a thing, right? If lag wasn't a thing, you could get your full combo off, no big deal.
Guaranteed to be the end of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I'm just like, okay, I missed the downswing, that would have killed him. That millisecond of lag, why? So I think it kind of lies in the fault of everybody teaching and
to
just
commit
everybody
too hard.
Yeah, and just go for that downswing kind of thing. And I mean, it kind of shows when you're going into like the trial stuff for the PvE, right? The biggest problem with that is too many people downswing. Like the thing that
that's like the first thing we tell people
first
not
thing,
to do.
Don't downswing, period, because it's a DPS race, and I mean that's kind of what basic matches are. And if you can catch somebody without any dodge rolls to break out of it, you just stagger combo them and DPS race them down as soon as possible, and that's kind of the goal. So I think that kind of just comes from a problem of just the meta that's been taught without any
it's so ingrained that like some people don't want to go in for the bullies neutral because you didn't downswing, so now they feel like it's unsafe.
Yeah, and they'll just eat or
they'll
not do
just sit there like, and
they'll move in Vulcan.
They'll move in a second and then realize that you didn't downswing and be like, uh-oh, and like just Vulcan or like shoot.
I will say that is one thing I start noticing when I was like doing my climb for like A+ that first time around, is that there would be people that would follow up on tackles a bit more, or there would be people that were just super bunga that was just like, get out of my way.
I hold forward.
Literally throwing their entire body into like everything.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, I can help you with this, and they're just like, downswing, get out of my way. I'll
just
take
like
them all on.
Fusing through your body, like I just need to move.
Yeah, so it's just like okay, he's just really good at what he does, I guess. That's he's like God mode, like
muscle memory is like, I can't stop, I need to do.
Yeah. Trying to think of a suit. Some insert raid here or something that has multiple dodge rolls. It's just crazy. Oh,
Jarges for sure, right?
Oh yeah.
cycling through their melee.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Like, no,
Like,
whatever you
stay
think
back.
you're gonna do to help me, just fuck off, because I'm gonna do more damage. Like, just
Oh yeah.
no.
I had an instance on stream a couple of nights ago where I was getting help from a Mark II I was pushing a mud rock, and we confirmed. So I started comboing on him, and I was going in for the final hit, and like he was chilling, and then when it was like time for the final kill, he did a neutral, and we bounced, and the mud
I was
rock
like,
got up and got away,
yeah,
and like. I'm over here just like, what the fuck? And like the dude, the Mark II, literally said sorry in the chat because he knew he fucked up.
yeah.
It's just like,
ooh.
what were you doing, man? I deal more damage to this support than you'll ever even dream of. Like,
And like,
stay out of
Yeah.
my way.
like even if
Oh
he
my gosh.
misjudged the iframes coming up, it's like, don't worry about it, because the minute he gets up and does anything, all he has to do is blink near the Jarja, and you would have got him anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That always kills me when I'm playing raid and there's just like this general's going after the support. I'm like, yo man, I'm right here. Like I'll just walk up next to him, like be like, really?
I think part of that comes
Just,
through
like,
that
shoot at
self-sufficiency
him.
thing, right? You have to constantly put more just like weight on yourself because you don't want to assume that your team is gonna do anything.
Well, I mean that's and a lot of times though too, what I think it comes down to is that most of those people are on the verge of just hitting that take the supports button at that point.
Yeah,
Because they're like, I've got to deal with this guy, right?
yeah, like
Because
I'll
he's
do
gonna
it
kill me.
myself.
He's gonna kill me. I've got to deal with it. And I feel that when I'm playing support and I see a raid
Mhm.
sometimes, and
It's like, what are you doing, my dude?
yeah, and then sometimes I'll do that in response when I'm playing a general. I'll be like, oh, there's the scary support. Wait, oh, never mind. There's our raid. Okay, their support can't do anything. He's got maneuver armor. That one can't break it
Mhm.
easy. Okay, see you, nerd. I'm going over here to. Oh, hey, there's the raid. Let's go, bro.
And then you
know.
turn around and see the raid on his ass. Like, wait, what happened?
How?
How did you do that?
Yeah, right.
And
Oh,
those
man.
moments when you make that assumption and then turn around and I made a grave mistake,
Yeah,
are
right.
exactly why you go in for those swings the next time around.
Or at least try to set him up. That's kind of what I try to do now. I'm like, okay, I'll get the first stagger so you don't accidentally get countered or something. But yeah.
And I think the big thing as a general that you can do before you start spamming take the supports is how about you spam take help your raid instead, right? Like I think it's the same night I was playing the Jarja and I had a little encounter with my Mark II, but I had a match on Desert where I was playing the full armor Gundam ground type, and I noticed that I was like up on the hill, like everybody was up on the hill in our team, and the enemy team was kind of like scattered between A point and the plateau by their base. Like they really didn't push. You have to like stay back and kind of do more shooty stuff. So like we were engaged with the guys over there, but I noticed that my raid pushed up to attack their Zoc. And I think the enemy team had like a Marasai or something. But I saw that the Marasai was diverting to engage our raid, putting him in a 2v1. So I literally peeled off the top of the plateau. Well, I took a shot at the Marasai and missed, of course. And then at that point, I peeled off the plateau to go support our raid. And like it took a second because I guess that guy's not used to getting help. Because after I like after I went in there to engage, yeah, dude, like you're supposed to trade dance partners at that point. Like raid, I am stepping into this fight so you can do your job. Because like at first he was fighting the Marasai with me, and I'm just over here like fucking leave. Like the Zoc is over there. Go kill that guy. He's free now. And like he stuck around, and the Zoc was just blasting us in the back while we were trying to like where we were awkwardly engaging the Marasai. And this is kind of like an example of what I was trying to talk about earlier, which is probably the same thing that you were getting at too, Magnum. But the second time around, when I did the same thing, like it was the exact same scenario. But when I disengaged a general from the raid, like he literally like I think I staggered him. And he like poked him once, and he literally just like turned ass around and went to go fight the raid or the Zoc. So he realized that I had his back, and I peeled off the guy from him, and he could go take the supports. And I bodied that dude in a 1v1. and then I went to go and like I shot at the other general that saw him fight into Zoc, and he died anyway. But it's just it's just like generals have to be aware of what's going on and be ready to like peel off and help out in both sides, honestly.
Yeah, I mean that's really
It's really good.
You know, I mean that's why we say they are the front line, because I mean that's kind of they gotta
It's kind of what they have to do, right?
yeah. So
You
but
have to dictate where the front line is. You have to be willing to shift and not try to
Yes,
stick in the spot all the
exactly. I
time.
agree.
yep. The other thing too, though, I will say every time that happens, I've had a few of those cases, but like when I notice it, I'm like, oh, this guy right, he knows, this guy knows, because as soon as you have that,
Mhm.
you both like essentially high five on the way after the. But it's funny, the first time you'll
Like
see
a
that,
tag match.
yeah, like the first time you'll be like, oh, we're I've got a teammate, what, you know, and like it's funny. I'll see generals do that when I'm playing support. They'll be like, wait, the support's actually okay, cool. We tackled the dude and I did a thing. Okay, cool. And the next time it's just fluid, whereas the first time it was like, yo,
Yeah,
you,
like the minute you see that guy again, it's like, all right, here it goes.
yeah. And the second time the dude's like, oh, we're in this situation again. Oh, okay, I know what you're doing. Yeah, I got you. He knows. But yeah, that's always one of the better feelings of the game, just when you actually have the proper teamwork that suddenly takes place.
And the cool thing is that a lot of that is just pure like action and body language at that point,
Mhm.
But
just
well,
because of the way that there's like a lack of communication in there.
this just reminds me of remember I showed it on one of the episodes here, where the when I was my first Shiki game, and I went and I was just like, uh support me, and everybody got out of their suit and repaired
Yeah,
their Shiki all the way back.
yeah.
And that's what won us the game right there. I was just like, yes. This is like what, the first time I've ever had that. I don't think I've ever had that many people.
Mhm,
Like, and this was like a basic. This wasn't even like an ace match, I don't think. I mean, it
mhm.
could have been, but I'm pretty sure this was like basic. Like that almost never happens in a basic. Like I could see ace if you were the ace, but I don't think I was, or was I? I might have been.
Might have been the ace.
I can't remember now. Either
I
way,
feel like if they listened to you, you probably were.
yeah, I might have been the ace, but I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, well, yeah, it's a good clip. But like, so back kind of more to the meta stuff, and then we'll definitely do I guess a part 2 and 3 of this kind of discussion probably, because I was just looking at the time. But like did you just Emblem? Did you just do what
What?
I think you did?
What?
Did you?
What's wrong?
Dude, there's an Akai behind you, man.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh, oh man. Okay, that's good. Okay, so but yeah, as far as the general stuff though, so different types. Do we want to go ahead and get a little bit into team comp, or do we want to kind of save team comp for later and kind of just talk more about what we think the role should be? I mean, we've pretty much been talking about that, but do we want to kind of leave it here, and then we want to talk more team comp and what suits at
I
what
see.
cost, kind of thing? Like, for instance, saying, you know, at 650, just bring all Q-Blaze. You know,
But I mean, also do that.
yeah, like so we could save that for next time, because I was
Maybe.
yeah, so
All Dovin wolves all the time.
oof.
Yes. I was actually kind of thinking we wouldn't even unless we just wanted to go that much into detail. Like I don't think we necessarily even need to go that much into it. Like 650 is a little bit weird. Maybe 600, but like I almost think you could just kind of categorize it as in like I don't know. I would classify the handful of sniper generals in the same category as the supporty style ones, like the Mark III and stuff. But
Okay.
I still think an ideal team comp in regards to generals is like let's say you're doing the 4-3 general setup. Like I still think any given team wants to have one of the shooty style generals, um, probably, and then the other ones be like unga bunga frontliners. for any comp.
I would say unless you do 2 supports would be the time I would say you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely like with the way that I am thinking of the game right now. I don't think 2 supports is viable on any map anymore. I'll go ahead and say it.
I think it is at 400 cost, maybe 450, and that's just because of the Isaac. Like the ability to just
Maybe
know.
okay, maybe it's Isaac. Maybe if we splash in
Yeah.
Isaac, I could fill you there, but like maybe.
Just because you know where the raid is, so both of you can position properly. Like that's the reason why I like the Isaac so much. And I know I'm kind of getting more into support talk here, but when it comes to being able to call things out, too, like just using yesterday's game as a little bit of an example, you were like, I need to get to the support. Where's he at? And I was just like, ping, there we go. Okay, so we need this. Okay, I'll go on the general. I'm about to be there. Blah blah blah. The raid's over here. Can somebody get that? And then we all kind of like shifted around, and then you got to go wreck the Dom Barrage, and then that's when I had the Kobe moment. And yeah, so like that's why I like the Isaac so much, but I don't know if it's kind of more of a crutch, if you will, for kind of lack of awareness skill and like communication as a team and kind of like or even just in uh, randoms, right? Like we talk about the comboing already, like some of the awareness, that's one of the things that's definitely one of the things I'm better at when it comes to most games. Like that's why I tend to play in like MOBAs. I tend to go toward jungle at some point, and at least try to do that on some level. So, but yeah, I think that's kind of that's more about the Isaac and stuff. But that's why I like
Right.
it so much, is just because it gives that boost of everybody knows where everybody's at. Everybody knows the health bars exactly. They know exactly what's low. So if the rate is low, then all the generals are going to be like, they're going to be salivating, man.
Food.
Like,
Right.
yeah, like, so that's the big thing I like about the Isaac. It may be lacking in damage, but the thing is, it also it's 3%. That's not bad. That's that's what depending on what it is, it's like essentially 3 long range or 3 close range slots. And if you're a balanced shooty and melee suit, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, that's a pretty good modifier for what it is. So, but anyway, back to kind of the what you were saying, though, to kind of bring up the team comp stuff. I would say yeah, I would have to kind of agree. There's probably not any other cost that I could see 2 supports working as well anymore. As
Yeah,
long as the
and my
generals are
only
doing their job.
concern with the Isaac is that like trading off the other general in that case, like again, it depends, but because I'm trying to like I was trying to think of another like one that could be similar in that regard, but I my main concern is just you're trading off. I guess you get information, but I really appreciate the fluidity and the flexibility of the general, the extra general class. And in the case of an example, the Isaac, I mean, you're not gonna have like the unless you're running the beam gun, I guess. You're not gonna have the reaction ability or maybe even the maneuverability to be able to do what a general might be able to do in the same slot, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because you're
Like,
going to
if you
be
do an
a little
Isaac
bit slower.
but like at 400, for instance, let's
Mm-hmm.
say Isaac and maybe a Hildoffer, because Hildoffer is getting in there and bumping around and all that good stuff. You also have the GM Cannon 2, which might not be the best partner, but I mean, if you're hitting everything with your cannons, then it definitely has the damage to compete with other supports. But then again, you have the tanks there at that cost. You could have like the Gunner Gundam doing its sniping thing even, and then you know me, I'm going to be in the Dom Barrage, and any of those that are definitely pulling out the numbers and doing good damage, like I feel like they're just fine.
Right.
One thing that was really fun, I know this is memeing, but long barrel plus the Hyzak machine gun. If the long barrel misses a bullet, the Hyzak machine gun finishes it off in like no time. So the Zaku 1 sniper is kind of fun with that, but for real though, like the the more meta stuff like the Hildoffer, the assault gun tank, Dom Barrage, GM Cannon 2, probably the most meta suit there really these days anyway. After all the nerfs to the Hildoffer and stuff. But yeah, hell, even the gun tank too. Since they're actually dealing the extra damage that the Isaac's kind of lacking, and the Isaac's also buffing up everything, you can just take out a general really quick. Like, you can definitely shred their line. And I think that's kind of one reason why it actually is more of a viable option for that. But like everywhere else, the general is going to be able to take out the raid or defend or be able to get in the way, and the support you're going to be using is going to be more of a damage oriented thing, doing the whole carry job. So,
and I do think there's an argument where like you could say the support kind of makes up the second support kind of makes up for that because it's another pair of long range eyes of a stun.
yeah.
But like I don't know. Again, I feel like that really is just definitely on certain maps, and I don't know.
Well, I
The
mean,
better thing I feel about, or go ahead.
I was going to say, then if we're looking at 450, you have something like the Zoc, which could definitely benefit from not having a raid sneaking up on them and meleeing them to death. Or then you have the gun
Well, I
cannon
mean, the Zoc,
detector.
in that regard, though, the Zoc should know it's coming anyway, right?
I mean, it does have the anti-stealth, but at the same time, that's only, was it anti-stealth, anti-jamming level 2? Yeah, it's still a pretty good
I think the only
distance.
thing you're not seeing is the Ack guy, though.
I mean, more so when I say, when I said sneak up though, I was kind of just more, like approaching from a good angle and having to deal with the raid. Whereas, with an Isaac, you just know where it's at on the other side of the map. You already know where you're like, oh, they're trying to swing wide. I'm going to go swing literally the other side of the map, and then they're going to try to find me, and they're going to waste time. That kind of deal. And for the Zoc to be able to position and then be like, okay, I'm definitely safe. I'm going to set up my beam now, and then, whoa, And then for the stagger thing, the gun cannon detector is just crazy at that. So I think it allows for suits like that to definitely, well, specifically the Zoc strat is one of my favorite things because that beam, if you're able to hit a couple of generals with that, anybody follow up with that, you just killed 2 to 3 people maybe. If you get whoever gets caught in that beam should be dead if your team is doing their job. So
this is semi off topic, but like, can I just say the Yakuza 5 soundtrack is fire? And we can keep talking
excited
now.
for that. 4's been pretty nice because Akiyama's got a lot of jazzy stuff going on, so that'll be interesting to see how they do it for 5. But yeah, they definitely got their shit down pat when it comes to their OSTs.
Sega does such a good job. But sorry, Magnum.
no. I'm gonna have to. I can't wait to go through all those games. But the what was it? Yeah, kind of back to the general side of things. So yeah, if I agree, you probably want one that can fill that kind of ranged role, and then you want either maybe something that's kind of in the most general of general, that's kind of not so crazy tanky. Like one of the things I'll take out a lot of times if we seem a little weak, like if we have a Barzam for instance, like that one's more of a, I would say that's more of a medium range because it's pretty squishy, right?
Sure.
So like I'm like, oh, okay, so we got a full range general, we got a Barzam, we got one frontline suit, and I'm like, okay, well we need something a little tankier. I'm just gonna go in the high gog, and I'm just gonna flop around and soak up damage. And yeah, and like normally those games will go pretty well. I'll have like top diversion and we'll, as long as they're doing their damage and stuff, then something that can be a little more tanky and have a front line. That's kind of how I feel the generals should be set up, is kind of more what I'm getting at. Like, you definitely want some hefty suits, at least 2 really hefty suits, maybe something in the mid range, and then, then you got that ranged kind of pseudo support for the 4th option, or even doing like 3 more frontline or meta generals, if you will. So, like lots of Galbaldi betas at 450, for instance.
Those charging down things to death.
But would you agree with that, or?
Sorry, I was also responding to chat. I think that makes sense. Just kind of sorry, I'm trying to think about kind of what to say about it too. But I don't disagree. Like I think as long as you're able to be positioned well and I don't know, words. It makes sense. I'll just say that. It makes sense.
Okay. But yeah, anything else for the general stuff, or because we kind of covered the meta of what they do and kind of like the comp setup. When you go into anything specific, like certain suits, I know I was kind of wanting to bring up the Dovin Wolf, kind of what I thought about it a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about the Dovin Wolf. I know you
Okay.
were wanting to talk about it earlier anyway, so.
So, how we were kind of just saying one ranged. I think that is the one ranged at 600, and then at 650 you just have the Cubulate. It is definitely the one of the problems at that. But anyway, for 600 though, my problem is with certain suits like that, either they don't bring enough to the table in the right situation, or I mean, it kind of becomes a map dependent thing too, I think. Whether you're going to bring, say, for instance, just in this case, the Dovin Wolf specifically, and I'm still not convinced that the suit is fine and doesn't need a buff. Maybe I've just seen bad situations of the Dovin Wolf, but
I think you kind of have, because I feel like every time I hear someone say that shit on stream, they get steamrolled by like a team of Dovin Wolves. Where there's like, yeah, it's kind of weird, and it shouldn't have more like a bunch of can't do it.
you kind of cut out, but yeah, like a bunch of them just like wreck a team.
I think it's kind of tricky. Go ahead, Magnum.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like with it kind of specifically, it's one of those that's definitely more on the squishy side because of just its lack of actual health. That I feel like really have to, because its damage is great. I will say its damage is great. So if you're, if your Dovin Wolves aren't potatoing their shots and the enemy team is actually being potato and not able to hit that giant thing, then yeah, then probably they're gonna wreck, because their damage is great. So I think I mean, I don't have one yet that I have on an account that I have parts, but I would like to see if I could try to play one tanky myself, because I wonder if that's kind of the fix for it, is they're expecting people to throw some extra tank on it. Because even then, I feel like raids just shred that thing too. Like if you get, like, for instance, if just pretty much anything at that, like the Night Seeker, what else, Hammurabi, anything like that just goes up against it, like especially something like the Hammurabi or the Night Seeker, you just hit it, it's staggered, and then knock it over and just bully it to death. You can chunk most of its health, and it's a general, and your raid just having fun bullying it. Which I mean, kind of feels the same when you get on like a ground type full armor. There we go. I'm gonna say ground type
I
heavy.
mean, in that respect, like, also keep in mind that you gotta that downswing first, because if you try to do your regular shit, it's just gonna like look at you, be like, oh, and then just tackle you.
Well, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like you do the heat rod thing. I mean
Mhm.
it's kind of like going up against a GBO2 or anything like that.
And even then, it's still kind of scary. I
Mhm.
was taking on Aoshi and his Dovin Wolf with the Night Seeker, and just kind of like you remember. I don't know if you've heard me talk about how like the tackle like ruins your whole day when you're trying to lead with a heat rod.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, you can just stuff it essentially.
yeah, like I went against Aoshi and I was trying to lead the heat rod and he just fucking tackled me. I was like, oh, there goes my heat rod. And you know, even after the switch to the melee, like I literally just could not finish a melee before I could hit him because his tackle was gone. So I just like downswing and it'd literally just be like, oh, and he would just like blast me in the chest and stun me off.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
And
that's
like,
right. It
shotgun
does
oh,
have
like
the
okay,
shotgun.
let's try again because he has
It
all the
does.
stuns. So I'm
Yeah, it
like,
has the
oh, all right, beam
shotgun.
saber, and it's like
It's got the shoddy mega
And-
particles, which
yeah.
means like anytime someone tries to follow up, you're gonna just get like shunted with it, because that's just like the perfect
Yeah.
counter.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, now I'm just like, okay, I'm playing as bad Dovin Wolves. Never mind.
And I think that's the thing, and
I'm
I
out.
think that's why, like, at this point, that they haven't fallen off. Because I remember we were talking about, yeah, it'll probably be here, and then it'll probably fall out to the usual meta. And it's like, well, it's still here and it's still doing stuff. And I think that stuff like that is why.
Okay, well, I've been convinced. My mind's been changed. Yeah, I forgot it has that shotgun thing. Man, that thing has a ton of
Use while
weapons.
dashing.
Yeah, and they're all an answer. That's the crazy thing. Like, it's not just for the sake of pure like barf output. Like, a lot of them just have a function.
Yep. Okay, well, I still think it's a little squish, but I am a support player. So
Yeah,
that is
I
my
mean that's
job.
supposed to be the offset though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I was gonna say that is my job.
these motherfuckers can get on a roll, but the minute they get caught out with like a consecutive stun or get like a couple people focusing on them, they just go down like that. Like, not that's enough from you. So you kind of have to dogpile on them, but you should be doing that to people anyway.
Yeah, and I think in the current set is 650. I mean, with Keyblades floating around, like you could probably get away with having more than one of them. But like, I think if we look into the future when we all have a PlayStation 5 playing Battle Operation 2 in its
We
third
all
year, and
engage our Sharingans of extra frames.
yeah, pretty much, and we're complaining about the 800 cost having just the F91.
It'll probably fall off by then.
then like when we have normal suits and that cost, like you'd be like, okay, you should either run one of these or or a Cubile or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it's better to have the buffed double Zeta now instead of as the front line.
Oh
And the
yeah, that's
Gundam
right.
Mark
The double
V
Zeta
does a
is
better job.
the double Zeta is the GPO1 essentially. That's the same place that
It
it
really
took.
is.
Oh my gosh. A year from now, that's calling it. A year from now, the double Zeta is going to be more meta than
It's
the
the
Cubile.
GPO1, but with a biosensor.
The Cubile is going to be weaker than the double Zeta after they super buff it a year from now. That's what's going
It's
to happen.
kind of sad too, because the GPO1 still has more fucking priority than a goddamn Zeta with a biosensor and all this other shit. It's supposed to be this revolutionary suit and all. Nah, I can't have it. It's gotta have 2 priority.
That's funny. Okay,
But the Mark II, boy, oh boy, outclap its more expensive cousin, I guess.
Why not?
But yeah, anything else with generals and general meta?
Help your raid out, generals.
Yep.
I
You got all this
respect you,
versatility. We
love
just
you.
gave you the biggest pep talk of your life.
Help the
Now
raid.
use that to help everyone else.
Help the raid and take the raid. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, when next time you're in your like 4-man murder ball with the other generals and you're getting shot by the support and you're wondering why your raid can't kill him by himself, it's because he needs you to help him. We've had this
Yes.
conversation before.
Yes.
Oh boy, we have.
When you're all four on top of one suit, and I say,
Magnum
mind
from the
your
top of his
heads.
building.
With my missiles, my MLRS, right
This
in and hit all four
delicious
people.
barrage.
When I get shot, I stand there and trade blows. Support, by the way.
Grit your teeth, boy. Just straight up.
You dare harm me on my perch?
No, for real though, like as soon as I see like a bunch of generals going toward one target, because I'm like, oh, our raid's almost dead. He's getting bullied. Oh, look at their
Bait.
thirst. Yes. Go at that raid, and then I just like, like there's 40,000 damage in one volley of MLRS missiles. No big deal.
I don't know, Magnum. Now, like I was watching one of Aoshi's videos of our group matches with him the other day on like Sunday matches, and now whenever I'm playing the raid and I get to support and die afterwards, I just think you had made a comment in one of the jungle matches. That's kind of like offhand. I was like, I trade 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I get the support out of the way, now that's all I think about. I was like, that's
AKA
me.
nothing happened.
Dude, like,
Yeah, because I think during the like right after you said it in the match, I was like, oh, so you're a raid main.
yeah, that's exactly what you said yesterday. Yeah, I was like, yep, yeah, that's accurate. By the way,
Phil's raid, man.
I can't remember where that quote actually came from. I just know me and some friends when we were playing League of Legends, like back in the day, like early League of Legends days, it just either just someone said it, coined the phrase, or we heard it from some video or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's just been the quote after that. I only trade 1 for 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
sounds about right.
But, okay. Yeah. Nothing else. Let's go ahead and take a quick guess at what the 450 raid is going to be next week.
Oof.
Because of course they could do 2 generals in a row. But
no, it's supposed to be raid this week. There's our double general, though. That happens every now and then.
Not only that, but I
Rather
guess
than, like-
triple down because of the shadows.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oof or Reno.
Okay, so 450 raid. What do we even? You know what? I said the Methus would be like 50 below the other method.
That light Methus. Yeah, raid Methus. I was actually gonna say the same thing, so I mean I don't disagree. Methus light.
I mean, I really have no other clue what would be a raid at this point.
Diet Methus.
Diet Methus.
Can
Methus Max.
Yes.
That's a Pepsi reference.
No, sorry, it's now
Mazinger
Pepsi
Zero.
Zero Sugar, just like Mountain Dew Zero Sugar or whatever.
The Zero Shiki. Oh my God.
Yes. Okay. By the way, though, can I just complain real quick about how the Zaku Raid and the Dovin Wolf is not a support? Anyway, there's that frustration out of the way. So, do we think we could get a support though?
No.
I'll see why not.
That was there we go.
Absolutely not. Never in your life.
Ugh. 2 supports before a raid? What is this?
They give us the Gaza E and it's a support space
I'm
only.
always down. Yeah, I'm always down for new supports, man. I gotta have something to bully. Support week is always great. Always great.
Excellent.
Yes,
Yeah,
night.
that was me with the Dovin Wolf. I was like, missiles.
I mean, that's always what the new week's about. Or like the banner drop night is like, all right, I got one, but how do I bully one?
Yep.
How do I make this guy miserable so he doesn't want to play this suit ever again?
All right, so me and Magnum are in agreement for the raid with the Methus no sugar.
Methus no sugar.
I'll say for support. I'll just throw GM Juggler in there. That'll be our support. Go
Oh
ahead,
God,
Magnum.
yes.
I'm gonna have for support. I would have to go Gaza D.
Well, I should be a general again. Just slightly higher cost.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna either be a raid or it's either gonna be a raid or a general. Magnum's just living in the denial over there.
Oh no.
I mean, Magnum, I'll give you the bound dock as a support. It'll just
my
have to
God,
have
the
that.
bound dock.
It'll just have to have that tank mode we talked about. Yes, last week.
It's just perpetually folded up and
Like
scooting around.
here's the terrain. It's just like boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Exactly.
People Transformers like, why is it not flying?
You know what? If they do that, they better make the Zommel do that.
I mean, the Zombie should be bowling people over anyway.
That's what
Right?
I'm saying. That's what button
It's
press.
fucking huge.
Button
It's
press
a
That
mode.
should be
bowl.
cool. Essentially, be the little hover super mode that you were
Make
talking
it,
about.
Yeah,
make
the
it over
omnidirectional
boost,
super-
but with just bumping.
It tackles people, like it knocks people over when it runs into them. He's like boom, 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 boom. You're just like going super fast.
I'm not punching it. That's a wheel. You know, you're like,
Yeah. At first, I thought
driving.
you were punching, and then I noticed the.
oh, I can't control this thing.
What was that one like land carrier? They broke off one of the jets and it just started to spin really fast. It was like that. Just gets out of control and explodes. Like, oh god.
And in general, be the full armor slave wraith.
Oh, I still want that thing. Yeah, but
This still needs to happen.
I could say full arbor slave wraith, even though if they do 3 generals in a row, which wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility knowing them. But I would be mad. Here you go. But yeah, Gustav, what's your picks?
Honestly, Diet Method sounds good. God, there was another suit. I'm trying to remember what it was. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I'm thinking about is just stuff that we'd have to wait for them to like either bump up the cost or go into a whole new series about. Right? Because I still want like a couple of things from Shark's Counterattack and stuff like that. I feel like we just need to start getting into the Hazels and stuff at this point.
Yes.
Just
I don't
get it over
disagree.
with. Especially if we're gonna start delving into like Aqua Gundams and shit. Also give us the sloop, get a low cost aquatic GM that's essentially just a raid for water. I'm good with that. Make the sloop that.
200 raids, please. Like if they're not
If they're
gonna
not
have...
gonna do it, they need to bump off the cost.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. You know what? Let's save that for a full topic because.
Oh boy. I mean, that's the general consensus of the topic, though.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I mean, the topic would be get rid of 200 question mark.
They've done it in other games in terms of like rarity and stuff and like level. So
the 200 meta game is so diverse and rich.
Oh my god. I think a lot of the people who have like certain like maybe clan suits would kind of be upset, but that's about it. It's just more relevant in 250 anyway, though.
So literally the Night Seeker too.
Yeah. Like, what about my Night Seeker? My Night Seeker though.
Isn't it base
No one
250 though?
anyway.
Isn't it? Or wait, you're saying and
It
250? Is that what you said?
It might be.
And
It might be.
250?
I'm just messing around. Yeah, it'd be 250. It's 250, but.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, sorry. Well, what I was asking is if Gustav said and get rid of 250 as well. Sorry, that's okay.
No,
no,
250.
No,
No,
yeah,
250 is where it needs to start.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say because I was like, that's okay.
Yeah, I think it'd just be
that's
the
the cost.
combat GM that would be affected. Oh, no, that was 250.
No, that's 250. That's what I'm saying. There's literally only 4 raids in 200. The Draw C, which isn't even ground. Then you have the GM,
the Goof,
light,
the Zaku one,
light beam
G-Line
rifle.
Light.
Yeah, the GM light beam rifle.
Not G-Line Light, the GM Light. Yeah.
I mean, and literally that's all it is a beam rifle. And you got the Zaku.
Strike beam rifle is not too bad though.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing that makes it viable is it's got some good range and you can do some decent damage. And then you have the Zaku why are you even here? And then you have the Waddle Master. That, oh gosh, there's one behind you, Emblem.
It's like, what are you talking about here?
I'm not falling for this anymore, man. You guys have fooled me enough.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. He's a stealth suit.
It's a chicken, I tell you. It's a giant chicken.
Okay. Anyway, we want to do some shoutouts.
No.
No. Okay. I'm
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Changing the topic
Later.
to shoutouts.
Doin Zaku, please.
Oh man. Okay, are we really doing shoutouts for real, or I could literally just put it up as that, like as I'm typing shoutouts.
No, you should do that.
Okay. Gustav, you want to go first?
Okay, Gustav the 13th, or Gustav _X_I. I am on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, as well as Twitch, of course. But we are currently going through Yakuza 4, making our way through the series until we hit like a dragon. Also doing Gundam Battle Operation 2 dailies every day, as well as recruiting for clan matches, which are coming up this weekend. Capital G, S, and 3 if you want to get sweaty with us. GKN is our casual clan. I can throw that down in the chat and all that good stuff. But besides that, do we have anything else that we were going to be trying to plan? Like maybe just for like GBS stuff in general, especially with like Thanksgiving shenanigans and stuff coming up?
I didn't have anything in particular. I mean, I know I'll be off of work, but I wasn't gonna like do anything too crazy unless you guys wanted to. I'd be down to game with the boys.
Well,
Boys.
I'm going through streamer madness.
Oh.
So yeah, I'd be up for some stuff. Pretty much I'm hopefully going to be doing some
I was gonna say, what does that
all-nighters
even mean?
in 24 hours, maybe 30 hours, maybe 40.
Jesus.
Something silly.
So Magnum is going to stream for 20 hours, and every time he gets like a donation or a sub, he'll extend it by one.
Oh yeah, that's what you did say that one time. Oh no.
You start out low and then you get there. I mean, Magnum, you're planning on streaming for 40 hours. You might as well incentivize the
Gets the
gains,
money
am I
out of
right?
it.
That laptop, that new PC is not going to buy itself.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an idea. That's a plan. Maybe.
Hello, Emblem over here.
I will be doing like going and grilling some pork chops real quick. So I will be taking the 30-minute breaks and stuff. I am going to be doing it healthy. We are promoting
sure.
we are promoting healthy gaming over here. Yeah.
Shout out. I thought this was shout outs. All I hear is sellouts.
Good.
Good.
Anyway, sorry, Gustav.
I mean, I'm done. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh
yeah, we tangented in the shoutouts, man. That's just how we do.
I am GamingEmblem. I stream video games on the internet at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem. We just finished up 13 Signals I guess RAM. We still play most of Gundam Battle Operation. I'm looking for a PlayStation 5. Probably get started on Yakuza like a Durgan this weekend. Oh, and we met our waifu stream goal. So the stream on Saturday will more than likely be starring everyone's favorite waifu, Gaming Who. So keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for that. And we'll also have probably the rest of the playthrough of 13 Sentinels lazily uploaded to YouTube. So if you can keeping up with that, you've got hours of video to watch on there. But yeah, video games, all that good jazz and fun here at GamingEmblem. And thank you. Oh.
I hear the laugh of Gaming Who is
I don't know. All I
best.
hear is
Oh no!
Ah.
You finally got him. Ah! Anyway, as usual, everybody's links will be down in the description below. Anyway, guys, I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch. Got a YouTube channel, Discord, Twitter, stuff like that. Hopefully, going to be expanding with Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. I've been working on things. I've been I'm doing stuff. Yay. But yeah, as far as games go, like I kind of already said, pretty much I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming if I can within this next week. So I'm pretty much trying to get everything that I need to get done tomorrow. So I might start late tomorrow or maybe not have anything tomorrow, and it's either going to start sometime this weekend or Monday, at which point that's when this is going to be crazy Cyber Monday week prep. Cyber Prep Monday week or something. I don't know. Still need to. The name's still work in progress, but I'm going to be playing anything from Path of Exile, Hades. I'm also going to have a list of games. We'll have points that can be spent to tell me to switch games and stuff like that. That's the main plan. The usual stuff though. Baldur's Gate 3. We're going to be continuing that on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday, the tabletop is canceled, so we won't be doing that. And again, it possibly will be going on hiatus for all of December. But I'll be posting in the Discord whether that's going to happen or not. So hopefully everybody's scheduling works out and we'll be good. Then on Thursday, of course, podcast. We'll be back for some kind of Thanksgiving thing and do stuff like that. But anyway, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Leave us a comment down below of what you thought about what we talked about and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Hopefully Emblem didn't get destroyed by an act guy. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.